KSL's top story. We could be hitting record high heat this week, and today the weather is more like June than March. The lack of snow and high temperatures are bringing out mosquitoes earlier as well. And KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live with what the experts are seeing. Heather?
Maria, local mosquito abatement districts are getting more calls for service than they normally do this time of year.
There's some mosquitoes that have hibernated over the winter, and they wait for warm temperatures to come out. And so with these warm temperatures we're seeing here in March, we will likely see those mosquitoes out and about. We're already seeing them somewhat, and it'll continue.
Greg White, manager of the Davis Mosquito Abatement District, says these are adult mosquitoes you're seeing right now, as we haven't even reached the breeding season yet, but that's likely to happen sooner than usual as well. Luckily, he says these are not the type of mosquitoes that they worry about carrying diseases. White says right now it's still a little too cool at night for some of their mitigation techniques like spraying, but they are asking people to clear any standing water to avoid giving the mosquitoes a reason to hang out. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
Temperatures are normally in the mid-50s this time of year, but for the next 4 days, forecasted highs are near or above 80 degrees.
We're looking at early June temperatures here in mid to late March.
That's National Weather Service meteorologist Sam Weber. The hottest temperature we've ever recorded in Salt Lake in the month of March was 80 degrees, even back in 2012. Now, this week, we're on track to break the record at least twice. Highs in St. George could reach 96 degrees as early as tomorrow. Utah ski resorts may not last much longer after this week's heat wave. Beaver Mountain Operations Manager Travis Seeholzer tells KSL that spring skiing may be out after this week.
Felt pretty good about it until this forecast kind of popped up with these high temperatures. And, I think it's over pretty much the entire western United States right now.
Beaver Mountain has already had to cancel a snowboard slalom event and their annual pond skim. They hope to stay open until April 5th. The resorts in the Cottonwoods are trying their lucks. They're still selling lift passes through April, and Brian Head says they will stay open until May 10th. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are reacting to news from the church that women can be called as Sunday school presidents. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis has more.
Earlier today, the church announced women can serve as ward Sunday school presidents, with the added qualifier that if a woman is called as a president, both her counselors have to be women as well.
A lot of things are changing with the church all the time, and I think it's cool that more opportunities are happening for everyone.
I think that's great. The church is expanding in very many ways.
I think it's cool. I think it's just cool that things are changing all the time. So I think it's a good thing.
Many people say they're excited to see where things will go from here, but don't expect there to be much change in how the Sunday school is run. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories. Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin and the GOP chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Committee got into it today. Mullin was in his first confirmation hearing to become the Secretary of Homeland Security. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest from Washington.
Republican Chairman Rand Paul accused his fellow GOP senator of having a propensity to violence.
Explain to the American public why they should trust a man with anger issues to set the proper example for ICE and Border Patrol agents.
Paul pointed to what Markwayne Mullin said about him last month, that he completely understood why Paul's neighbor attacked him in 2017. For that, Mullin didn't apologize.
Seems like you fight Republicans more than you work with us.
Mullin vowed, if confirmed,
we can have our differences. It's not going to keep me from doing my job as Secretary of Homeland Security.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Several top U.S. intelligence officials, including Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, and others, were also in the hot seat on Capitol Hill this morning. ABC Jay O'Brien says they'll talk about the war with Iran and overall worldwide threats.
We know Democrats on the Senate Intelligence Committee are likely to have pressing questions on the bombing of that girls' school in Minab, Iran, and if the U.S. was culpable and what, if any, role U.S. intelligence played. I'm also told senators will have questions on the possibility for Iranian reprisals on the U.S., including possible cyber attacks. Expect FBI Director Kash Patel to be questioned on that.
The hearings will continue tomorrow. Other national stories KSL is following. A murder that shocked the country finally has a conclusion. Investigators say an Iowa real estate agent shot and killed them during an open house.
Ashley Oakland was doing what she usually did on the weekends, showing a home in West Des Moines, Iowa. While she was there in April of 2011, however, she was shot twice and found dead inside that house. Now, West Des Moines Assistant Police Chief Jody Hayes says 53-year-old Kristen Ramsey is under arrest.
She has been indicted by the Dallas County Grand Jury for the offense of murder in the first degree.
Police won't say any more about the relationship between Ramsey and Oakley. The murder led to more safety precautions for real estate agents, prompting some to suggest open houses needed much more security. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
First look traffic. Here's Tito Nani.
No issues to report on our roads as we begin the noon hour. It's a trouble-free drive on I-15 going both directions between Provo and Ogden. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Thank you for joining us for Midday, recapping our top local story. Mosquitoes are out to play earlier than normal this time of year. Some went into hibernation just months ago and are waking up ready to play again. KSL News Time, 12:07. We do have some breaking news for you. The Federal Reserve has decided not to cut interest rates. Zions Bank senior economist Robert Spendlove joining me live on the KSL Newsline. Robert, thanks for being with me.
It's great to be with you.
So describe for us what the Federal Reserve had to say about keeping interest rates steady.
Yeah, and the Fed laid it out from the very beginning. They said economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace. So they're saying the economy is doing okay, but then just a little bit further down, they talk about uncertainty in the Middle East. And so why do we care about that? So they're saying the economy is okay, but we've got these potential shocks. The Fed has their dual mandate of focusing on employment and inflation. And when we look at those, employment is looking okay, but there's some question about inflation. So they're saying we're just going to keep watching until we know a little bit more.
Right. Markets, they don't like uncertainty. We've talked about this many times, Robert, and they've reacted very negatively to the news.
Yeah, and markets are also really waiting to see what happens at the Fed's press conference as well. So markets kind of expected this decision, but the Fed specifically mentioning that uncertainty in the Middle East kind of elevates it and says maybe this shock will be more lasting. If it is more lasting, we've already seen this in gas prices where the increase in oil prices has caused a big increase in gas prices. And will that cause a big increase in inflation as well?
Robert, what does this mean for future rate cuts for this year?
So in this statement, the Fed did not change that. So the Fed had previously said that they were going to drop that Fed funds rate or drop interest rates one time in 26 and one time in 27. That remained unchanged. So the Fed is saying, at least for right now, we plan on dropping that time. Markets are kind of pushing it out. So, there was some thought that it would be in this meeting. There was some thought that it would be in June. I think the earliest we see a Fed rate cut would be in the fall, maybe September, once we have more certainty about what's going on with inflation.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Great to be with you.
Live on the KSL Newsline, that is Zions Bank senior economist Robert Spendlove. Let's get you up to date with traffic and weather. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Tito, any trouble spots?
We're seeing some good speeds on our major freeways. However, in Utah County, we're seeing some congestion on Pioneer Crossing. It's going eastbound just before the I-15 on-ramp. When you need the financial products and services for every stage of life, Cypress Credit Union is there for whatever the future holds. Visit cypresscu.com today. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Southern Utah's record-breaking heat yesterday is headed north. Look for a high of 79 today. That would tie a record sunshine. 80 degrees tomorrow, crushing a record, but potentially even setting a new monthly record. We'll do that again on Saturday with a high of 82. 80s hang with us through Sunday. Forecast high of 81. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
A lot of sunshine, and we've hit 70 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday, we'll take a look at gas prices and why they are not dropping if the U.S. is tapping into the petroleum reserve. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Maybe we should take a nap.
Yeah, smart. It was a big day yesterday.
Now this is a great nap.
Very restorative.
I feel so rested.
At Ovation Homes, taking it easy looks a little different. Single-level homes designed to keep you moving, not slowing down. Ovation Homes. Your best years start here. To learn more about your next home, find a community or speak to an Ovation specialist. Visit OvationHomesUtah.com.
We decided to downsize.
Less to manage.
Fewer stairs.
More friends.
Ovation Homes. Downsize the stairs, upsize the lifestyle. Your best years start at Ovation Homes. To learn more about your next home, find a community or speak to an Ovation specialist. Visit OvationHomesUtah.com. That's OvationHomesUtah.com. Your best years start at Ovation Homes.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000. When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
KSL News Time, 12:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are excited to hear women can now hold another leadership position in the church. I'm KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis.
Second, the Federal Reserve has decided to keep interest rates steady at 3.6%. third, traffic and weather together, Tito.
Our biggest trouble spot continues to be in Utah County. We're seeing some pretty significant congestion on Pioneer Crossing going eastbound just before the 850 East interchange. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Record warmth headed to northern Utah today, and for the next 4 days, I'm Matt Johnson.
Sunshine, 70 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The war with Iran now in its third week, escalating over oil and gas in the region. A source familiar with the matter confirmed to ABC News that energy facilities in Qatar have been evacuated after an IRGC warning to evacuate certain energy facilities came out in the region following Israeli strikes on Iranian gas refineries. ABC's Ann Flaherty has more.
We are told that this could impact about 1.2 million barrels of oil. It's not just impacting crude oil, it's also going to impact gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. We're speaking to experts who say this absolutely could hit consumers at the pump with those high prices, even if this is such a small fraction of the oil that's sold globally.
The Federal Reserve Board wrapped up its policy meeting and announced interest rates remain unchanged, in line with analysts expected. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says the war in Iran and inflation remain a concern.
For the last couple of meetings, we had been seeing inflation really going in the right direction, and the job market, the bigger concern. When you have a weakening job market, the Fed had been signaling maybe it would be cutting rates to try to support the job market because inflation had been less of a threat. That has really potentially changed just in a couple of weeks here because you have this huge energy price shock.
On Capitol Hill, intelligence leaders briefing lawmakers on worldwide threats today, including Iran. D&I Director Tulsi Gabbard also asked about her role in the FBI's raid on the Georgia ballot office related to the 2020 election. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Tulsi Gabbard's appearance in Fulton County, while Gabbard said she was not part of a law enforcement operation in an official capacity and was there at the request of the president, is far afield of what the Director of National Intelligence job is. The Director of National Intelligence oversees the intelligence community, aggregates intelligence from essentially across the various agencies in the government, and then briefs the president, gives the president options, things of that nature.
You're listening to ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. The gas prices are up all across the country, including here in Utah. The Trump administration says they are tapping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So why aren't prices dropping? Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy joins me live to talk about it. Patrick, thanks for being with me.
Well, thanks for having me.
So first of all, what does it mean when we tap into the reserve? I mean, what problem does that solve?
Well, the reserve has 412 million barrels of oil, of crude oil sitting in it. And I think the aim here is to reduce the impact of high oil prices by potentially putting more supply in the market. Obviously, the Strait of Hormuz is the catalyst here. The blockade is holding back 20 million barrels of oil on a daily basis. And releasing this oil from the United States SPR is designed to potentially mitigate or offset part of that. However, while the 172 million barrel release sounds significant as part of the broader 400 million barrel release announced by the International Energy Agency, the real point here is not the amount of oil, but the rate it can be released. And right now, the U.S. is planning to release it at a rate of 1 million barrels a day for potentially 120 days. That still pales in comparison to the 20 million barrels a day that are being blocked via Iran's threats in the Strait of Hormuz.
Do we know exactly where the oil is going? Does it go to other countries, for example?
Generally speaking, the government, the Department of Energy, will issue an RFP in which it will solicit bids for that oil, and it can be bought by anyone. The goal for the taxpayer is to sell it to the highest bidder. That has, in years past, in Trump's first term, that has gone to China. It's gone to countries like India, and it also went to China and other foreign countries back when Biden tapped it several years ago. So the goal is not necessarily to be selective on where it goes, but to fetch the highest price to eventually recoup and refill the SPR.
Does it mean that our gas prices will come down anytime soon?
Well, unfortunately, as I mentioned, the rate of release is rather low, and oil prices really haven't seemed to be impacted much by it. In fact, when the announcement was made, oil prices actually went up another 2.5% that day. So, again, it's probably more like a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. The global market is looking for some oil to offset the 20 million barrels that are stuck in the Strait on a daily basis, but this is really breadcrumbs that the market needs much more for oil prices to decline in a meaningful way.
Patrick, I appreciate your help. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Live on the KSL Newsline, that is Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy. Let's get you up to date on the drive, traffic and weather. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. What's happening, Tito?
Our Valley freeways remain in good shape. No trouble spots as you make your commute throughout I-15, 215, and I-80. Also, Bangerter Highway as well as the 21st South Freeway are rolling along with no delays. At UTA, it's never just a ride from point A to point B. They move independence. They move purpose. They move memories. They move what matters, you. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, scorching hot temperatures for this time of year. I got a 79 today, tying a record, sunshine. Crushing records tomorrow, 80 degrees, sunshine. Potentially setting a new monthly record in Salt Lake on Friday, 82 the forecast high, mostly sunny skies. We keep it in the low 80s on Saturday, mostly sunny, and then dialing it back. 72 on Sunday, 73 mostly sunny skies on your Monday, but Tuesday still back up to 75. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, a lot of sunshine in downtown Salt Lake City, 70 degrees. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And a quick peek at the markets. Yep, still in negative territory. Right now, the Dow is down by nearly 500 points. Complete update of your money news is coming up next.
This heat's nice, but the real heat, it's coming. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and now is a great time to schedule a preseason AC tune-up. And I'm about to save you some money. Normally, we charge $129 to tune up your air conditioner. But if you call today, Wednesday, March 18th, and mention you heard this ad, we'll give you $100 off and tune up your air conditioner for only $29. Call Any Hour Services today and schedule. 801-443-7400. Manufacturers recommend annual maintenance to save on utility bills, identify breakdowns before they happen, and to help your air conditioner last for as many years as possible. 801-443-7400. If it's more convenient, go to anyhourservices.com and look for the red button that says Book Online. Schedule your $29 tune-up there. That's a $129 value for only $29, if you get a hold of us today. Call Any Hour Services right now at 801-443-7400. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Many people worry they're not making the right investment choices inside their 401ks. Did you know that you might have a little-known opportunity to add some additional investment choices to your 401k and get the help and recommendations you've been looking for? This exciting feature is called a self-directed brokerage window. And the best part? The money still stays within your 401k. Learn how the trusted advisors at Capital Wealth may be able to expand your investment portfolio. To learn more, call or text the word VISIT to 801-877-9800 or go to CapitalWealth401k.com. Improving your 401k might mean the difference of retiring a few years earlier. Let's find out. Schedule your no-cost 15-minute consultation with the Capital Wealth team today. Call or text the word VISIT to 801-877-9800 or go to CapitalWealth401k.com. Advisory services offered through Capital Wealth Advisors, LLC, a state of Utah registered investment advisor.
Amanda, I've got a cruise planned in a couple of months, and I was thinking about the other people who may have cruises planned coming up a few months from now, and why right now would be the best time for them to begin their weight loss journey on Soda Weight Loss.
If you started right now, you could lose 20, 30, 40 pounds before June.
That's right.
I lost 37 pounds in 3 months, 3.5 years ago. And the beauty about soda is it's not a quick fix. This is learning that is going to last you the rest of your life and help you be healthy.
Your clothes fit better. Your energy comes back. You don't get winded going upstairs.
Yeah.
Things that maybe you don't even realize. When I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, it felt like a transformation.
You learn what works for your body so you don't get addicted to shots or drugs. You just work with a nutritionist who's going to teach you how to keep the weight off for a lifetime.
Right now, you should go check out sodaweightloss.com, see all the thousands of before and after pictures, or speak with a nutritionist by giving a call 866-800-SODA.
Soda Weight Loss. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
KSL News Time 1224, and thanks for joining us. And thanks to our texters this afternoon for telling us about this big plume of smoke that is in the West Ogden, maybe Clearfield area. We do have our assignment desk checking into that, and we will bring you more information on what exactly is burning when we get more information about that. The Oscars drew in fewer viewers this year. 17.9 million people watched the ceremony. That is a 9% drop from last year's 19.7 million. Disney says the Oscars still rank as the top primetime entertainment telecast this season. Social impressions rise over 42% with 129 million video views. Watching Utah's money, interest in meal kits is declining. HelloFresh, the company that delivers fresh ingredients and recipes to your doorstep, isn't expecting a great 2026. Wall Street Journal reports it expects to see a decrease in revenue on a constant currency basis of around 3 to 6%. Coffee prices are expected to ease in the coming months. Reuters reports some experts are comparing it to cocoa when it reached an all-time high in 2024 and then slowly started to fall. Former Twitter shareholders were in court testifying against the now owner, Elon Musk. They claim he was deceptive and misled investors when he tried to back out of the $44 billion deal in 2022. It was filed just before he actually did take control of it and renamed it to X. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is down by 478 points. That's more than a full percent, sitting at 46,522. S&P 500, it's down by 50 points, which is about 0.75%. Same for the NASDAQ, down about 0.75%, down 171 points. This morning, Grammy-nominated rapper Afroman, real name Joseph Foreman, went on trial accused of using footage from a police raid without permission.
Back in 2022, deputies in Adams County, Ohio, raided the rapper's home on suspicion of drug trafficking and kidnapping, but no charges were brought. Foreman then made a song about it and used his home security footage in the music video. The song went viral. Foreman says he made the video and later sold merchandise to pay for damage to his home after the raid. The deputies sued, claiming the rapper used their likeness without permission.
That is ABC's Hannah Batar reporting.
Listen, parents, I've seen your search history. How to survive spring break without totally losing my mind. Take a deep breath because I'm about to make this so easy. This is Julie from the Visitors Bureau in Logan. Step 1, reserve your hotel room right now. Step 2, get to the American West Heritage Center for the original Baby Animal Days, April 1st through the 4th and 9th through the 11th. We're talking newborn lambs, sassy kids, goat kids, not your kids, and baby bears from Yellowstone Bear World. But wait, there's more. After you've held a baby chick and thrown a tomahawk like a mountain man, you'll be hungry. Head to Angie's for the kitchen sink. It's a ginormous banana split on steroids served in an actual sink. If you finish it, you get a job washing dishes. I'm kidding. Walk it off on a scenic mountain hike or head to the Cache Valley Fun Park for laser tag, roller skating, and bowling. Baby animals, epic eats, and practically zero stress. Head to Logan for spring break or anytime you need a break. Plan your vacay at explorelogan.com. explorelogan.com.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Join KSL and the Movie Show this Friday 10 to 1 at My Hearing Centers. Get a free hearing evaluation and be among the first 30 to try advanced hearing aids risk-free for 30 days. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Tito Nani.
We're seeing spots of slowing on southbound I-15 in Weber County. It's affecting traffic between 5600 South in Roy, and it continues on down towards Clearfield. Elsewhere, Utah County, Pioneer Crossing going eastbound is seeing congestion just before the I-15 junction. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Our historic heat wave cranks up today in northern Utah. Look for a high of 79 today in Salt Lake City with sunshine. That would tie a record. Tomorrow, 80 degrees. We would tie the monthly record, sunshine. 82 on Friday. That would break the monthly record. We'd do it again, 81 on Saturday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
A lot of sunshine, 71 degrees downtown.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, KSL News Time 1230. KSL's top story this hour. What started as a traffic stop turned into weeks in immigration custody, where a Utah man from Argentina says he was told to sign paperwork to leave or risk staying locked up for years. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera is live with that story. Eric?
Maria Sergio Argañaras, who spoke through his attorney Adam Craig for translation, says after being detained, he felt pressure to make a quick decision.
So then they started pressuring me again on both sides. Sign.
He says at one point, agents told him he had a domestic violence record, but after he was already detained, they told him that was a mistake. Sergio was transferred from Utah to detention centers in Iowa and Nevada. Craig says part of the concern is what officers can and can't say in those moments.
They're not supposed to be giving legal advice, ever. The most egregious thing about Sergio is Sergio has a lawful entry, is married to a permanent resident, has 2 citizen sons. He is completely eligible for a green card.
Craig says they were eventually able to get a judge to throw out that agreement. The Department of Homeland Security has said immigrants facing removal are informed of their rights and can take their case before an immigration judge. Federal policy also allows what's known as voluntary departure, meaning someone can choose to leave the country on their own rather than go through the full deportation process. We have reached out to ICE for comment. Live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
A man accused of shooting someone before being shot by an off-duty police officer at a Taylorsville liquor store made his first court appearance today.
23-year-old Tyler Maka appeared before a judge today for the first time since he was arrested almost 3 weeks ago. He's accused of shooting another man in a road rage confrontation that ended at a state liquor store near 44th South and 27th West. Court documents obtained by KSL say Maka shot another man 3 times and kept shooting the gun until an off-duty Utah Highway Patrol trooper already at the store fired back at Maka, hitting him once. He was treated at the hospital and later charged with attempted murder. Charging documents also say Maka is a documented Taliban gang member and has family ties to the Middle East. Today, the judge told him he will continue to be held without bail until at minimum he is able to see the new judge assigned to his case. That's scheduled to happen on April 3rd. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
The former BYU wide receiver accused of rape was back before a judge today. Parker Kingston appeared virtually from his home wearing a suit and tie as both sides discussed evidence and witnesses that could come into play in trial. Kingston, who is charged with first-degree felony rape, has not yet entered a plea. He was released from jail on a $100,000 bond with an ankle monitor. Police in American Fork are looking for a black pickup truck involved in a hit and run. It happened in the Cedar Hills Walmart parking lot. Anyone with information is encouraged to reach out to police. A neighborhood in Payson was told to shelter in place last night. Police tell us they were searching for a person who ran away from officers in Spanish Fork and headed toward the area of 400 North and 300 East. It was 6 years ago that the ground throughout Salt Lake County started shaking as a 5.7 magnitude earthquake hit Magna.
It was a stark reminder that Utah is earthquake country.
Utah State University Assistant Professor of Geology Alba Rodriguez Padilla tells Midday with Maria Shilaos the Magna quake and the aftershocks have taught us a lot.
All of the little aftershocks that we felt helped us illuminate the geometry of the fault at depth, which for the Wasatch Fault, which was the fault that hosted the earthquake, was a bit of a mystery to scientists.
Padilla says this is a good time to reassess our homes for things that might fall during an earthquake. She says many people forget to secure their shelving units by anchoring them to the walls. Don Brinker-Hoff, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories. The 6 U.S. service members killed in the Iranian war will be brought back to the U.S. today.
President Trump travels to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware today for the dignified transfer of remains of the 6 U.S. service members killed in the crash of a refueling aircraft in Iraq. This is the second time since the start of the war on Iran that the president has attended this solemn ritual. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt this morning described it as the hardest thing he does as commander-in-chief. 13 service members have died so far in the war. More than 200 have been wounded, and roughly 70% of them have suffered traumatic brain injuries, according to a U.S. official. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Reaction to the resignation of the top counterterrorism chief has been mixed. Joe Kent resigned from his post and in his letter wrote that Iran posed no threat to the U.S. He also criticized Israel's position in the war that led to some lawmakers to categorize his comments as anti-Semitic. More from ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
The president previously endorsed both of Kent's failed runs for Congress. He once called Kent a great American hero and nominated him for the role, standing by him despite previous controversies and his past associations with anti-Semites. But now Trump dismissing Kent's exit.
Kent was a top aide to National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard. First look traffic. Here's Tito Nani.
Looks like the congestion on southbound I-15 in Weber County between Roy and Clearfield has subsided. We are back to good speeds on our Valley freeways. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:35.
My friend Joey loves to use old familiar sayings.
You know what they say?
The problem is,
don't look at a gift horse, cause you can't make them drink.
He gets a lot of them mixed up.
People who live in glass houses,
here it comes,
shouldn't cry over spilt milk.
There are also a lot of sayings in the financial world, like, you'll pay lower taxes in retirement. But for many people, it's just not true. You may have done a great job saving in that 401k or IRA, but Uncle Sam is ready to grab a big portion of that money. The team at Galileo Wealth Management can help with strategies that you can start now to lower your tax bill in the future. More for you and less for Uncle Sam.
Or as they say, an apple a day is worth two in the bush.
Get the facts on your tax bill in retirement. Call Galileo Wealth today at 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online at GalileoWealth.com.
And remember, a stitch in time keeps the doctor away. It does, you know.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
KSL News Time is 12:37. I want to give you just a little bit more information on that breaking news story we were telling you about. That's a fire in the Ogden area. We understand that it's actually in Marriott Slaterville, and that there is a very large plume of smoke that several texters, at least a half dozen, have been telling us about. And as we find out more about what exactly is burning in that area, again, the dispatch has confirmed that there is a fire in the Marriott Slaterville area, but has not confirmed what exactly is on fire in that area. KSL News Time is 12:37. The Utah Department of Transportation has begun construction on a road to connect I-15 to the Mountain View Corridor. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has more.
The 6-lane freeway in Lehigh will be nearly 3 miles long and feature 14 new bridges. UDOT says there will also be 2 new pedestrian bridges and trails for pedestrians and cyclists. House Speaker Mike Schultz says that this project is a response to the growth and development in Utah County we expect to see in the near future.
And years from now, when people drive this road without thinking twice about it, that will be the real sign of success, and I believe that's where true leadership is.
UDOT says that this new route may cut the time of drivers' morning commute by as much as 12 minutes. Construction is expected to wrap up sometime in late 2028. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Salt Lake City is asking for public feedback on a new park plan for the rapidly growing Granary District. City planners unveiled the first concept for the Fleet Block open space near 900 South and 300 West, which could include open lawns, gardens, and gathering areas for community events. Public Lands Manager Michaela Maponga says.
So I think one of the big ideas in this concept is the opportunity to create different opportunities for experiencing nature. So we have like meander gardens, we have big open lawns, we have rain gardens.
City leaders say they hope to finalize the design this summer, and it could begin construction next year. AI is gaining another sense. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
It's smell. AI is learning to smell. The Wall Street Journal says scientists have been working on it for years. They're calling it the e-nose. It's a computer system that can detect and distinguish smells much more accurately than a human nose. That's because we can lose sensitivity when we get used to an odor. Scientists are hoping it can scan someone's breath to check for diseases, scan the air to check for potential contaminants, and even develop perfume. A scientist tells the Wall Street Journal it's taken 30 years to develop and get TV to where it is now. So who knows where the e-nose or smell-o-vision will be in a few decades. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here is Tito Nani.
We have a new accident in Utah County. It's on southbound I-15 just before the Main Street American Fork exit. The right shoulder is blocked, but it looks to be out of the way and not affecting traffic. Create your floral sanctuary with Olson's Greenhouse. Locally grown, premium quality flowers. The perfect complement to any space. Cheerful flowers for porches, patios, containers, and beds. Visit Olson's Instagram or OGG.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
The West Coast's high-pressure system moves into the desert southwest today. It's going to be hot, folks. 79 degrees today, tying a record with sunshine. Crushing records tomorrow with a high of 80. We may even set a new monthly record. 82 on Friday, still stuck in the 80s on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And a lot of sunshine, 71 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday, we'll hear from a horticulturist about what the warm weather means for yards and gardens. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Whether you're outfitting a new rig or upgrading your current setup, you'll find awnings, hitches, solar panels, camping gear, and more. Shop top brands, talk with experts, and explore the latest 2026 RV models all under one roof. The Utah RV Super Show takes over the Mountain America Expo Center Thursday, March 19th through Sunday, March 22nd. Learn more at UtahRVSupershow.com. That's UtahRVSupershow.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Let's retrofit and renovate old buildings before it's too late. 45 water pipes and power lines to keep things flowing and get back online. EIGONE. Let's work together to get ready. We don't have to be scared. Visit earthquakes.utah.gov to prepare.
Brought to you by Envision Utah.
Buying a home or refinancing can be complicated. So who do you call? Who's trustworthy, has decades of experience, and can get you a loan done quickly? Who will work hard for you to find the great rate and reasonable closing costs? The answer is clear. Loans by Rick. Right now, Loans by Rick is giving a 30-year fixed rate at 5.5% and a 15-year fixed at just 4.625%.
He can't do that.
Oh, yes, he can. For over 25 years, Rick has helped people navigate the mortgage process and get the financing they need to buy a home or refinance. That even includes paying off debt with a cash-out refi. And because Loans by Rick works with over 80 bank and lending relationships, we shop multiple lenders to find you the very best deal. Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, call Loans by Rick at 801-809-SAVE. That's 801-809-SAVE, or visit loansbyrick.com. Rick Bob, NMLS 241179, Vintage Lending, NMLS 287106, Equal Housing Lender, 30-year APR 5.78%, 15-year APR 4.78%. Some restrictions apply.
KSL News Time 1245. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
UDOT has officially begun building a new freeway in Lehigh to connect I-15 with the Mountain View Corridor. I'm KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott.
Second, there is a fire in the Marriott-Slaterville area, sending plumes of smoke across Weber County. Third, traffic and weather together, Tito.
Fire crews are working this Ogden fire. Drivers should avoid the area of 700 to 800 West 17th Street. We also have an accident at 14th East and 1st South in Salt Lake. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Tuesday's 70s was nice, but here comes the record warmth. I'm Matt Johnson.
71 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The ongoing war with Iran continuing to drive up global oil prices. The Federal Reserve Board today announcing due to economic uncertainty, it's keeping interest rates unchanged. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
That key rate for the Federal Reserve staying in a range of 3.5% to 3.75%. The Federal Reserve did make a change to its statement that was just released. They say that the implications of developments in the Middle East for the U.S. economy are uncertain, going on to say that the economy is expanding at a solid pace.
New escalations. A source familiar with the matter confirming to ABC News energy facilities in Qatar have been evacuated after Iran issued an evacuation warning for certain energy facilities. It follows Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iranian gas refineries. The head of the UK's Metropolitan Police in Washington and appealing to the Trump administration to release the unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files so they can investigate British citizens, including former Prince Andrew, mentioned in the files. This is ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. The warm temperatures are making it feel like spring, but with those warmer temperatures comes the need for more water. The little snow that we got this winter is causing concern. Horticulturist and my co-host in the KSL Greenhouse Show, Ton Bettis, tells Inside Sources it might actually not be as bad as we think.
I've been in communication with some of the bigger water brokers in the state, the Conservancy districts. You've got Weber Basin, Jordan, and Central Utah, and they're not really ready to make a lot of statements yet, but it looks like things are trending toward 25 or 30% cuts on the homeowner level in available water. Instead of being able to irrigate 3 times a week, maybe irrigate twice a week, water being turned on a little bit later in the season and shut off earlier instead of October 1, maybe September 15th. And so far, it looks like we will have some water, and trees will survive, your gardens will survive, even your lawns will be fine. They may brown out a little bit, but it is something that we hope doesn't progress into the next year.
Ton is in southern Utah today and says he's already seeing the fruit trees start to blossom.
Apricots are kind of one of our indicator species on when is, it's on, and for lack of a better term, and the apricots are between 3 and 4 weeks early. Wow. And I've seen forsythia blooming already, which is an indicator it's time to start with your lawn care with a pre-emergent product. And that's generally not until early to mid-April. And so we are about 3 to 4 weeks ahead of where we normally would be.
And you can hear more from Ton and me on the KSL Greenhouse Show this Saturday, starting at 8 a.m. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. What's happening, Tito?
Good speeds and no issues to report throughout I-15 across the Wasatch Front. I-215 and I-80 also in good shape with no trouble spots. Celebrate Easter at Abravanel Hall March 30th. Join Grammy-nominated Jenny Oakes Baker and experience The Redeemer, a breathtaking musical journey honoring Jesus Christ. Save 50% with code RISEN15 at jennyoakesbaker.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. The long advertised heat wave is here, folks. Look for a high of 79 today. Will likely tie a record, potentially even breaking one. Sunshine. Tomorrow, all-time record heat for the month of March is possible, forecasting a high of 80 degrees. Salt Lake City's warmest March temperature ever was 80 degrees. We'll likely break that on Friday. 82 is the forecast. We go to 81 on Saturday, mostly sunny. Then a shallow cool front to the rescue. 72 on Sunday, partly cloudy skies. We keep it in the 70s on your Monday, mostly sunny, partly cloudy, and 75 by Tuesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And a lot of sunshine in downtown Salt Lake City, where we've now reached 73 degrees. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Still to come, we're going to check your money news. Markets losing even more ground after the Federal Reserve decided not to cut interest rates today over the uncertainty in the Middle East. Complete update of your money news is coming up next. The number one concern people have about starting a weight loss program isn't losing the weight, it's gaining it back later. And many programs can help you lose weight, but very few can teach you just how to keep that weight off long term. I've told you for the last couple of years now about my success with Salt Lake City Fat Loss. I have lost more than 40 pounds with this great program. They have a great maintenance program. This is a doctor-developed program. It helps adults lose 20 to 40 pounds in about 60 days using real food from the grocery store. There are no medications, no prepackaged meals just to maintain the results. They teach you how to do things differently. They teach you how to maintain that weight so you can keep the results long term without giving up those foods you love or relying on ongoing medication or expensive meal plans. They also have a great app. It gives you great resources and it keeps you accountable and, again, helps you with the maintenance. That's why thousands across Utah trust SLC Fat Loss to help them not just lose the weight, but keep it off. Schedule your free consultation at slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com.
Imagine a world where you can leave the house and take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you. Thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just a fantasy. Just picture it. You're at your kid's soccer practice streaming the other game in 4K. Just like that. In the airport, download a cozy family comedy in a snap with Wi-Fi Power Boost. What if the places you had to be felt more like everywhere you wanted to be? That's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity. Imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit xfinitymobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates for 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes, fees, extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Xfinity. Imagine that.
I know it's Wednesday, but give me 60 seconds and I'll explain how spending $29 guarantees your air conditioner won't break down this summer, or we'll give you your money back. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and when you have Any Hour do the annual maintenance for your air conditioner, it comes with our no breakdown guarantee. 801-443-7400. Normally, we charge $129 to tune up your air conditioner, but not today. If you call today, Wednesday, March 18th, and mention you heard this ad, we'll give you $100 off and tune up your air conditioner for only $29. 801-443-7400. If your AC breaks down any time this summer after we've tuned it up, we'll dispatch a technician to your home to diagnose and troubleshoot your system for free, and we'll give you back the $29 you paid for the tune-up. Where else are you going to find an offer with this little risk? You literally get your money back if your air conditioner breaks down. Call Any Hour Services and schedule your $29 air conditioner tune-up. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
As the #1 small business lender, Zions Bank helps entrepreneurs reach and exceed their goals. Visit your local branch or zionsbank.com/SBA. Equal housing lender.
KSL Broadcast Group contests are open to participants 18 years of age and older that are residents of Utah, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest may not enter. Persons who have won in the last 30, 60, or 90 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available at kslnewsradio.com/contests.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
KSL News Time 1254. A former reality TV star won the Iditarod, the roughly 1,000-mile sled dog race in Alaska. Jesse Holmes guided his dog team across the finish line in the old gold rush town of Nome. Holmes is a former cast member of the National Geographic reality show Life Below Zero, chronicling the struggles of people living in rural Alaska. Watching Utah's money, Bank of America has settled a lawsuit claiming it ignored suspicious financial transactions involving Jeffrey Epstein. Those include $170 million paid to Epstein for tax and estate planning advice. Arizona is taking action against prediction market app Kalshi. The state is filing criminal charges against it, saying it's an illegal gambling and election wagering operation. Wagers on state elections is explicitly illegal in the state. Amazon is planning to cut the number of packages sent through USPS after a failed deal. Amazon is actually considered the Postal Service's biggest customer, but now they will reduce the number of shipments by at least 2/3. That's according to Reuters. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow losing more ground. It's now down by 662 points, nearly 1.5%. It sits at 46,333. That after the Federal Reserve decided today not to cut interest rates. Also down the S&P by 72 points, and the NASDAQ is down by 250 points. A wild car chase in Oklahoma City is going viral after one of the officers went above and beyond to make the arrest.
It all started when an officer tried to stop two people riding mini bikes at night without headlights. Both took off. The officer followed one rider to a dead end, then ditched his vehicle and started running, his body camera rolling as the officer then runs up to a civilian's car.
Go, 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 go. Drive, 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 drive.
And like a scene out of a movie, he jumps onto the hood, directing the driver to drive.
That way, that way.
After about 2 minutes, they catch up with the mini bike rider. The officer jumping from the hood to make the arrest.
That is ABC's Sophie Flay. The mini bike riders are both now facing criminal charges.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time 12:59. Traffic and weather. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU. Love where you bank. Tito?
Troopers stopped all traffic to clear the roads on northbound I-15 in Davis County. They've now released traffic. It's just before Parish Lane in Clearfield. Expect backups towards 4th North in Bountiful. No matter the weather, your feet can feel fantastic. Find the Good Feet location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
And our high temperatures headed up to the 80s. Today's high 79, 80 tomorrow, 82 for Friday, 81 for Saturday. Sounds like gardening weather to me. Right now in downtown Salt Lake City, a very nice 73 degrees. Today, though, it's supposed to get up into the 90s in St. George.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
A run-of-the-mill traffic stop turning into weeks of immigration custody. A man from Argentina told to sign paperwork to leave or risk staying locked up for years. His lawyers saying ICE agents didn't give him a chance to really understand what he was signing.
If he would have just let the voluntary departure motion stay in place, he'd be in Argentina right now. Wouldn't be with his family, wouldn't be with his wife, he'd be gone.
The time is 1 o'clock on Wednesday, March 18th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera will join me to break down the whole situation. Also this hour,
it comes down to that separating that regional traffic from that local traffic, and that makes a big difference.
one step closer to some relief for northern Utah County drivers as UDOT begins a freeway conversion project in Lehigh. But first, our top stories. We could be hitting record temperatures this week. Here in Salt Lake City, highs are in the 80s tomorrow through Saturday, but it's not all sunshine because this warmer than usual weather has mosquitoes coming out a lot earlier than normal this year.
I mean, we have been definitely receiving more calls than we typically do this time of year. In the past 2 weeks, we've been getting a number of calls asking. People are seeing mosquitoes out and about and asking us about that, seeing what we can do.
Davis Mosquito Abatement District Manager Greg White says the type of mosquitoes that you're seeing are not the ones that carry diseases. These are adult mosquitoes that have been hibernating through the winter but are now out because of the warmer temperatures. And he says we aren't even at breeding season yet, so we're likely to see an increase in mosquitoes when that gets underway as well. White says at this point in the season, the best thing we can do is get rid of any standing water. Our top national story from ABC News. At the Fed meeting today, they did exactly what everyone was expecting. Interest rates held steady. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more on that decision.
We have seen as recently as a couple of hours ago, President Trump call on the Fed to cut interest rates. That is obviously not what the Fed is doing here. This is the second meeting of the year. They also kept rates on hold back in January. The Fed is really at a point where they're trying to understand the path forward for the economy. The oil price shock, the spike in gas prices and energy prices that we've seen in the past couple of weeks complicates that outlook.
The rate remains between 3.5 and 3.75%. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is down by 651 points, sitting at 46,342. S&P and the NASDAQ both down by more than a full percent. S&P down by 70 points, the NASDAQ down by 254. Traffic and weather is brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Tito Nani.
Still seeing spots of slowing on northbound I-15 in Davis County. This was due to troopers stopping traffic earlier. Expect slow speeds between 4th and 16th north. If your roof needs repair or replacement, do it now during S&S Roofing's huge spring sale. Flexible finance options available. Get the best value on the highest quality roofing job. Get a quote today at snsroofingutah.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Highs near 80 degrees through Saturday. Then a bit of a change, a little cool front coming through on Sunday, dropping the temperature down to 72 and a 10% chance of showers on Monday and Tuesday. Right now, 73 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Hi, I'm Mike Kay at My Policy Quote. And if you missed open enrollment or did enroll in one of those marketplace government plans, it's not too late. I save my clients 30 to 60%. That's an average of $3,500 to $9,000 in premium savings. At My Policy Quote, you can choose any doctor, zero deductible for outpatient expenses, and oh, one more thing, Premiums are not tied to your income, so there's no surprise tax penalty at the end of the year like those government plans. And unlike those ACA plans where the use prices are dictated, with me, all of your costs are managed by you, so you control your out-of-pocket. If you pay your own health insurance, you're on COBRA, uninsured, your employer is just too much, or even self-employed or small businesses, call me, Mike, today. 385-367-6779. Again, that's 385-367-6779. Or visit mypolicyquote.com. That's mypolicyquote.com to get started now.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. A Utah man from Argentina says what started as a simple drive to work turned into 2 weeks immigration custody. He says he was told to sign paperwork to leave the country or risk staying locked up for years. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera joins me live in the studio. And Eric, what happened here?
Maria, Sergio Argañaras, who's from Argentina and lives here in Utah, says he was pulled over on his way to work and quickly taken into ICE custody. He says things escalated fast, and not long after arriving at the detention center, he was presented with paperwork to leave the country.
And what was he told about that decision?
So he says he was given what felt like two options. It was either sign or stay locked up for at least 2 years. Here's Sergio speaking through his attorney, Adam Craig, for interpretation.
It was explained to him that if he would accept a voluntary departure, he could come back at any time he wanted, but if he wanted to fight his case, they would send him to a detention center where he would probably end up having to wait for 2 years. So I tried to call my wife 3 different times, and she didn't answer. While he's trying to make these phone calls, he's being told, hurry up, you need to make a decision. Says, doesn't matter, we're just going to deport you because right here it says you've got a domestic violence record. He was like, what are you talking about? I don't have anything here. I don't have any record.
And Maria, that moment is critical because signing that paperwork can mean giving up your chance to fight your case in immigration court.
Eric, did he even understand what he was signing?
So he says no, and that language was a big barrier.
So then they started pressuring me again on both sides. Sign. Said, would you please explain to me, because this is only in English. Can you please explain? No, we're not gonna explain it to you. It's in English.
He also says at one point, agents told him he had a domestic violence record, but after he was already detained, they told him that was a mistake. After signing, he said he was moved from Utah to Iowa, then Nevada, spending about 2 weeks in custody.
So what does his attorney say about all of this?
So his attorney, Adam Craig, says the bigger issue here is what the signature means, especially in Sergio's case.
So then they put us in handcuffs. Also, our feet were chained, our wrists were chained, and they took us for 9 hours, no food. ¿Dónde? So then they went to Pahrump, Nevada, which is 65 miles out of Las Vegas. Then I could speak with my wife, and his wife had spoken to an attorney. And his wife told him, you don't sign anything. And he said, well, I already signed.
So Craig says in this case, eventually they were able to get a judge to throw out that agreement. Sergio is now back home with his family and is currently in process of getting a green card, which he was eligible for, according to Craig, this whole time. The Department of Homeland Security had said immigrants facing removal are informed of their rights and can take their case before an immigration judge. And then federal policy also allows what's known as voluntary departure, which is what we're talking about here, meaning someone can choose to leave the country on their own rather than go through the full deportation process.
All right. Thank you, Eric. That is KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera. Women members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints now able to serve in Sunday school presidencies in their wards. Whether it's serving as the president, a counselor, or a secretary, the church says the change is immediate. The change does not apply to stake Sunday school presidencies or the general Sunday school presidency of the church. Sarah Jane Weaver, editor of the Deseret News and former editor of the Church News, tells Inside Sources this change aligns with the church's emphasis on learning and studying the scriptures and other church doctrine.
Well, I think this is a dynamic period of gospel learning for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It hasn't been too many years ago since church leaders asked members to take an increased role in studying the scriptures in their homes. And they began what's called the Come Follow Me curriculum. And this follows that, where now they're saying either a man or a woman can serve as the Sunday school president at a ward level. Mm-hmm. So they're not saying men and women would serve together in presidencies. The presidency could be made up of all men or all women. And the role of a Sunday school presidency at a ward level is to train teachers to teach people about the scriptures and the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Weaver says this change is part of several changes coming to the church handbook that elevate women and other voices and give them more of a chance to participate in the church.
So in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there's an administrative handbook that teaches local leaders how to administer to the needs of their congregations. And every so often, the handbook is updated to answer new questions or meet new needs. And so this is part of just a regular update. But it does indicate something that I think is very exciting. So you have this coming at a time when members of the Church of Jesus Christ are asked to study the scriptures at an increased level. And then they're saying, we think that both men and women should be able to teach and train and emphasize these things in the ward. The other thing that it does is every ward is governed by a ward council. That is where both men and women leaders gather together and they discuss the needs of the ward and the needs of the members. And so this could, depending on if it's a man or a woman called to this position, add one more woman to that council setting, which I think is always important because women have important insights and good voices.
So how are members of the church reacting to the change that women can serve as ward Sunday school presidents? KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis went out on the streets of downtown Salt Lake City to find out.
I think it's really cool. I think a lot of things are changing with the church all the time. And I think it's cool that more opportunities are happening for everyone. I think men and women both have different strengths for different things. And so I think everyone brings their different characteristics and traits into things. So I think it's good if you open it up for more people to have opportunities to be in different roles. So I think it's cool.
I think that's great. The church is expanding in very many ways. And I support all of it.
I just heard about this because I've been at work all day, but I'm not completely surprised. As a member of the church, I don't feel like they hold me back or restrict me in any way. I think they value men and women, so I don't know. I'm not shocked by it. I'm oh, okay.
What would you think a Sunday school led potentially by a women presidency versus, how it's usually been, what might that look like?
I don't know. This might be a weird intake, but I think the first thing that comes to mind is women are a little more emotional. So I think maybe there could be more insights about just growing as a person, how different policies in the church or things that were like taught to believe in how we can maybe go about it in different ways. I think there's just different perspective in general, I think could be the main thing.
These changes come ahead of the church's 196th annual General Conference, which will take place on April 4th and 5th. You'll be able to catch all the sessions of conference live on air here on KSL News Radio and streaming online at kslnewsradio.com. Stay with us. We'll be back with more in just 60 seconds.
This heat's nice, but the real heat, it's coming. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and now is a great time to schedule a preseason AC tune-up. And I'm about to save you some money. Normally, we charge $129 to tune up your air conditioner. But if you call today, Wednesday, March 18th, and mention you heard this ad, we'll give you $100 off and tune up your air conditioner for only $29. Call Any Hour Services today and schedule 801-443-7400. Manufacturers recommend annual maintenance to save on utility bills, identify breakdowns before they happen, and to help your air conditioner last for as many years as possible. 801-443-7400. If it's more convenient, go to anyhourservices.com and look for the red button that says Book Online. Schedule your $29 tune-up there. That's a $129 value for only $29 if you get a hold of us today. Call Any Hour Services right now at 801-443-7400. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
All in together now, we can make it better. Can we do it? We won't it up. Cause we know how to jump.
Moving and eating better every day can help make you and your kids healthier. Search We Can online to find out more. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
A bit of light in the future for Utah County commuters, but not before a few more years of construction. Today, UDOT begins construction to turn 2100 North in Lehigh into a full-fledged freeway. In total, it'll be about 3 miles of new freeway. When complete, it'll allow for nonstop access between Mountain View Corridor and I-15, creating a faster route for people who travel across northern Utah County.
The way that the area is thriving with Lehigh, Saratoga, Eagle Mountain, the growth and development that's been happening there, the people that are moving there, has kind of maximized and kind of overloaded the existing system. And so to get ahead of that, we're making that freeway connection so that we can provide that regional connection for those users in Eagle Mountain and Saratoga Springs to get to I-15 without getting caught up in the local traffic that's adjacent to the corridor. The people that are trying to get to the businesses and the neighborhoods adjacent to 2100 can stay on the frontage roads, and that regional traffic can really move through. It also provides that added corridor connection from I-15 to Mountain View Corridor, which is that other north-south connection up into Salt Lake County, and will be that freeway connection up into I-80. So then we have this cross connection that really joins those two together.
Andrew Jordan is the project director for Northwest Utah County for UDOT. He tells KSL the major excavation for the project will begin soon. Right now, they're working on just clearing the topsoil, grass, and such. He says this project will really help people who drive in the area.
Really, it comes down to that separating that regional traffic from that local traffic, and that makes a big difference in how much you're able to move through the area. Initial reports are up to 20 minutes of savings throughout this corridor.
As part of the project, crews will build 14 new bridges, 2 new pedestrian bridges, 2 miles of shared use paths, and realign or reconstruct some existing trails. Construction on the $621 million freeway conversion is expected to continue through late 2028. Back and forth arguments during a Senate confirmation hearing today for President Trump's new pick to lead the Department of Homeland Security. Updates on that coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Tito Nani.
Traffic looks to now cleared up on I-15. No trouble spots to report. It's a clear drive in either direction from Ogden down to Provo. It's Utah's favorite shopping tradition you can't miss. Simple Treasures this week. Hundreds of local vendors, one-of-a-kind pieces, gifts, wearables, food, and more. Discounted tickets are available. Easy checkout. Visit simpletreasures.boutique. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Grand Staircase Escalante is under attack. Utah politicians are hastily racing to dismantle protections for this special place, one of America's most treasured national monuments and an important part of southern Utah's economy. An overwhelming majority of Utahns support protecting the Grand Staircase for future generations. Yet our voices are being ignored by those meant to represent us. Now's the moment to speak up. Learn more about this attack and what could permanently be lost at suwa.org. Paid for by Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance.
Does your home have peeling paint or faded colors? Don't procrastinate. You need to protect your home with quality paint and a worry-free process, so make an appointment with CertaPro Painters. You quickly get a free estimate that's detailed, easy to understand, and then their trusted local professionals will bring fresh color to your home with quality craftsmanship at the right price. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now, or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some tense moments on Capitol Hill today as President Trump's pick to be the next Homeland Security Secretary faced scrutiny from senators on both sides of the aisle. Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma facing tough questions from the Senate Homeland Security Committee. In his opening statement, Mullin also said he wants the partial shutdown to end.
Sometimes it's political theater, sometimes it's true differences. But what we do know is that we're playing with fire. We have 280,000 DHS employees right now that are on day 30 without pay, and they're still showing up every single day to do their job.
The committee chair, Republican Rand Paul, began his comments by saying that Mullen doesn't have the temperament to run the DHS. Paul recounted statements that Mullen made after Paul was assaulted at his home in Kentucky, where Mullen said he understood why Paul was assaulted.
You told the media that I was a freaking snake and that you completely understood why I had been assaulted. I was shocked that you would justify and celebrate this violent assault that caused me so much pain and my family so much pain. I just wonder if someone who applauds violence against their political opponents is the right person to lead an agency that has struggled to accept limits to the proper use of force.
Paul also mentioned the conduct of Mullen during a hearing a few years ago when he challenged a witness to a fist fight in the hallway.
Haven't heard the word apologize, haven't heard the word regret, haven't heard I misspoke and it was heated and I made a mistake. Haven't heard any of those words.
Sir, actually, it wasn't heated, and I'm not apologizing for pointing out your character.
Good. So you're jolly well fine, and you want the American public and the people up here to vote that may or may not vote for you to know that you supported the felonious, violent attack on me from behind.
I did not say I supported it. I said I understood it. I don't believe in political violence. I've made that very clear. But sometimes people do need, theoretically speaking, sir, I get it. It's about character assassination for you. That's the way this game is played. I understand it. And you are making this about you, which is fine, but that doesn't keep me as Secretary of Homeland Security.
Character assassination when you were the one lauding the assault. Who do you think started that character assassination? I'm just repeating what you have done in character assassination. I'm repeating your support for the assault. So that's somehow something I started?
No, sir. What I'm saying is you're adding a lot to it.
Mullen committed to owning up to his mistakes that he's made and says he will make in the future.
I won't back down from a challenge, and I'll also admit when I'm wrong. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I make mistakes just like anybody else. But mistakes, if you own them, you can learn from them, and you can move ahead.
Mullen is the junior senator from Oklahoma, and before that he served in the House. He also has a background in business. On this episode of Start Here, host Brad Mielke speaks with ABC's Jonathan Karl as he reports on the high-level White House defection over Iran. The question of whether Iran posed an imminent threat to the U.S. coming up repeatedly today at a Senate hearing on the threats America faces worldwide. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more on what the nation's top intelligence officials had to say.
With the former director of the National Counterterrorism Center saying the president was deceived into believing Iran posed an imminent threat, CIA Director John Ratcliffe told senators he disagrees with Joe Kent.
I think Iran has been a constant threat to the United States for an extended period of time and posed an immediate threat.
But National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard said that's for President Trump to decide.
It is not the intelligence community's responsibility to determine what is and is not an imminent threat.
Georgia Democrat John Ossoff called that assertion false.
It is precisely your responsibility.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
The resignation of a high-level White House official over the war with Iran has sparked a lot of controversy. ABC's Jonathan Karl has more on what the departure of Joe Kent means for the future of the war.
This is something that we've almost never seen in the Trump era, a appointee of Donald Trump resigning in protest for anything. But this was very clearly a resignation in protest of the war. He said that there was no imminent threat from Iran. He also said that this was counter to what Donald Trump ran on in 2016, in 2020, and again in 2024. And he, on the way out, was essentially pleading with Donald Trump to make a course correction, to change, to end this war while he still can, saying that the decision is yours. You're the one with the cards. And look, he's the head of the Counterterrorism Center, very key position in U.S. intelligence, Senate confirmed, appointed by Donald Trump. This is not some deep state, anti-Trump insider. This guy was through and through MAGA.
This is about us, conservatives, Republicans, taking back our country.
He supported Trump on everything. He's a former Army special operations official, a former CIA official, but he's somebody that supported Trump even on his attempts to overturn the election in 2020, helping spread some of the most out there conspiracy theories about the election and basically supporting everything Trump was saying until now.
But so then if he says there was actually no imminent threat, that the justification that there was an imminent threat in this war is not true, What is the response from Trump and I guess the Trump administration to that?
Donald Trump, a rather astounding response in an event in the Oval Office late yesterday.
I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security.
As I'm watching him say this, I'm saying, wait a minute. So you knew this guy was, quote, very weak on national security, and you appointed him as the head of your counterterrorism center? Basically the operation within the U.S. government that is charged with using intelligence to protect the homeland against a terrorist threat. Anyway, they've attacked him. And I thought the most interesting response, though, came from Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, Joe Kent's boss. They're very close. They are allies. And Tulsi Gabbard has long been a critic of any U.S. military involvement in the Middle East. She finally put out a statement responding to this, saying that Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief. He was overwhelmingly elected, and it is up to him to determine what is an imminent threat and what to do about it.
ABC's Jonathan Karl on the Start Here podcast with Brad Milkey. It's 1:30, midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. 6 years to the day since an early morning 5.7 magnitude quake jolted Utahns awake. We are talking earthquake preparedness on Midday. As the NCAA tournament prepares for round one tip-offs, we are getting insights into how BYU and Utah State could walk away with the pretty payout. And KSL traffic, Tito.
Traffic's still in great shape throughout the Wasatch Front. No issues to report on any of our Valley freeways. Maria?
And I hope you're ready for some 80s. They're in the forecast.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. After issuing evacuation warnings in the Middle East, Iran retaliating following Israeli strikes on Iran's oil refineries. The Qatar Interior Ministry says Iran has hit a major liquefied natural gas terminal. ABC's Patrick Reevell is in Doha.
It's the largest LNG terminal in the world. Apparently, it exports about a fifth of the world's LNG gas. Qatar Energy, the state-owned company, says that there was extensive damage in the area and that there is a fire burning there and that teams have been deployed to try and contain it. They say that there are no casualties reported.
Rising oil prices weighing on global economies. Today, the Federal Reserve Board announcing it's keeping interest rates unchanged for now due to in part of the economic uncertainty with the war. The partial government shutdown continues with TSA workers on the job without pay. Data obtained by ABC News showing nearly 10% of TSA workers nationwide called in sick yesterday.
KSL's top local story. A man accused of shooting another man outside of a Taylorsville liquor store last month made his first court appearance today. This is the same man who was shot by an off-duty police officer. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
23-year-old Tyler Maka appeared before a judge for the first time since he was shot and arrested almost 3 weeks ago. Charging documents obtained by KSL say Maka got into a road rage confrontation with another driver, which ended at the state liquor store near 44th South and 27th West. Maka is accused of shooting that man 3 times and following him into the store where an off-duty Utah Highway Patrol trooper shot Maka once. Both men survived and Maka was charged with attempted murder. Police also say Maka is a documented gang member with ties to the Middle East. His court appearance today only lasted about 2 minutes. The judge told him and his attorney he will not be able to post bail unless the new judge over his case allows him to at his next court appearance on April 3rd. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Other local stories KSL is following. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints say they're excited to see more women in leadership roles after a recent church announcement. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
Women can now be called to be Ward Sunday School presidents. If they are, then both of their counselors will need to be women as well. So if a man is a president, the whole presidency is made up of men. If a woman is a president, the whole presidency will be women. Members are saying they are excited for this change, and some say it's not even a huge surprise with how many other changes the church has been making, like lowering the age women can serve missions to be the same as men.
The change takes effect immediately. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is down by 727 points, more than 1.5%, sitting at 46,266. S&P down by 80. The NASDAQ down by 279 points. Traffic and weather together, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Tito Nani.
We have a bit of a slow slog on northbound I-15 in Utah County. Not quite sure what's causing it, but it's just before the 6th North exit in Linden. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Get set for the 80s. The high today, 79, 80 for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then back down into the 70s on Sunday. 75 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Calling all Jazz fans. If you can't wait another second to see stars like Ace Bailey and Lowry Markkanen tear up the court, you're in luck. Tickets are on sale now. Let's go! No matter what you're looking for, the Utah Jazz has your back. With season tickets, mini plans, and single game options available, there's something for everyone. Whatever your schedule or budget, there's a plan for every fan. Don't miss a moment of the action this season. Secure your tickets today at UtahJazz.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Early morning shaking 6 years ago today, giving folks across the Wasatch Front a stark reminder that we live in earthquake territory. The 5.7 earthquake that struck just north of Magna was felt across northern Utah and resulted in damage to buildings and homes. It was a bit of a wake-up call, especially for those who were awakened by the 7 a.m. quake, that the big one could happen at any time. On the anniversary of the largest earthquake to strike along the Wasatch Front since pioneer settlement in 1847, I asked Alba Rodriguez Padilla, who is assistant professor of geology at Utah State University, what we learned from the 2020 earthquake.
Well, one of the big things we learned is it was a stark reminder that Utah is earthquake country, and we have to be ready for more earthquakes. Scientifically, we also learned a lot. So all of the little aftershocks that we felt helped us illuminate the geometry of the fault at depth, which for the Wasatch Fault, which was the fault that hosted the earthquake, was a bit of a mystery to scientists in that area. So there was a lot of learning both socially and scientifically.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about the scientific research for those people who may not totally understand.
Yes. So basically, Utah has several faults that cut through it. The biggest one is the Wasatch Fault. It cuts the northern half of the state, and it goes right on the edge of the Wasatch Front. But we're part of a broader zone of the formation that is called the Intermountain Seismic Belt, which spans a large part of the state and goes north into Idaho and Wyoming. And all of the earthquakes that we get help us understand how the formation is accommodated in this broad zone a little bit better. And it also helps us from an engineering standpoint to plan for future earthquakes.
Remind me, didn't we have a recent earthquake that was believed to be an aftershock of the earthquake in 2020? And how does that work?
It is true that aftershocks can continue happening for a long time after the main shock or the main event. On the case of the Magna earthquake, that event was in 2020, right? And we had a lot of aftershocks in the days and weeks following the event. So typically we'll have most of the little earthquakes that follow a big earthquake soon after the big one, but that the tail of that can persist long over time.
Right. What do we know about possible earthquakes that could hit Utah in the future?
Absolutely. So, like I said earlier, we are part of this broad zone of deformation with some major faults like the Wasatch, but some smaller faults that are part of the Intermountain Seismic Belt. Those are seismically active, even if during our recorded history they haven't had any earthquakes. Through paleoseismological investigations, geologists have found evidence for big earthquakes on these faults in past times. So we have to be ready for these potentially big earthquakes to happen in the future. We don't really know when they are going to happen, but we know that these faults are capable of making them and have to be prepared for them.
So what can we do in our own homes today to prepare for an earthquake?
Thing number one is if we feel shaking, we have to stop what we're doing, drop, cover under something sturdy, and hold on until the shaking stops. So that is what to do the moment the earthquake starts. Something else we can do is the Utah Geological Survey has amazing resources to understand where is your home positioned with respect to nearby faults. And you can start thinking, where am I with respect to where an earthquake will happen? Can I anchor some furniture so that it will not fall in the event of an earthquake?
Okay, so really taking a look around our homes and deciding if there's something that would be dangerous if things did begin to shake.
Yeah, absolutely. And placing that in the context of where are we, and using those Utah Geological Surveys resources through their website to better understand that.
Mm-hmm. We've heard in the past how make sure you strap down your water heater. Are there any other things like that we should be thinking about?
One of the things that often collapses during earthquakes will be shelves. It will be really things that we don't really think about as being loose in our homes that can be the biggest threat, because things like fireplaces or water heaters we are more cognizant of. Just making sure when we're taking a look, we're not just thinking of what is a dangerous piece of furniture, but really what is any piece of furniture that could be dangerous in the event of an earthquake.
Right. Shelves is one that I don't usually think of. But, boy, if a stack of shelves came down with books, that could be quite dangerous, right?
You know what a little tip someone from Taiwan would get the little earthquakes gave me once? It is having shoes next to your bed in the event that an earthquake strikes at night and stuff falls and breaks so you don't cut your feet.
Oh, you're right. That's something we wouldn't think of, would we?
Right?
Okay. Anything else we should think about?
No, I just encourage Utahns to learn a little bit more about their local fault systems and prepare so that when the next Magna-like earthquake hits, we're ready for it.
Alba Rodriguez Padilla is an assistant professor of geology at Utah State University. You can find more earthquake resources to protect you and your family for the next inevitable quake at kslnewsradio.com. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-551-7672.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-551-7672. That's 800-551-7672.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The NCAA tournament gets underway this week, and 2 Utah schools have made the bracket, BYU and Utah State University. Both schools getting a payout as part of the tournament, too. And in case you didn't know, like I didn't know, the NCAA distributes a portion of its revenues to member conferences based on how their teams do in the tournament. KSL TV sports anchor Sam Farnsworth joins me to describe how the complicated payout system works.
Yeah, so the NCAA tournament, they've done this for, since the early 90s, where they've done a pay scale depending on how many teams you advance to the tournament as far as the conference goes, and then how many rounds you advance in the tournament. Basically where it's at now, obviously the revenue has grown substantially over the years. The television rights deals pay out quite a bit to the NCAA tournament. So this year, there's about $270 million in the pot that will be distributed to teams based on how many rounds they advance. And the money doesn't go directly to the teams. It goes to the conference, who then decides how they want to distribute it. And most conferences will evenly distribute it throughout all of the teams in their conference.
So what could this mean for Utah teams?
I mean, it's great. This is one of the top, if not the top moneymaker for college athletics every single year. College football, there's a lot of money involved there as well, but that's more team specific. So as far as Utah teams go, the University of Utah, they're going to get some money because the Big 12 has 8 teams going to the NCAA tournament. Even though University of Utah is not in the tournament, they'll still get some money based on the success of their conference, partners that are in this tournament. So that's a great thing for them. BYU, again, it's a great thing for them with 8 teams in the tournament for every round BYU goes to, but also for every round that another Big 12 team advances. That means more money that'll come back to them as well. Utah State, it's a little trickier because they are the only team from their conference in the tournament this year. So it's all based on what they do. And then yet that money will be distributed to other teams as well. So they won't get everything based off of their own success, but it still is a way for them to make some money.
Now, is this just for men's team or is it men's and women's?
The women's do it as well, but they just started doing this. I'm pretty sure last year was the first year. And, they've got a new TV deal with ESPN, the NCAA women's tournament that has earned them a lot of money. So they're able to pay out to their institutions as well on the same type of scale where every round you advance to, you get another percentage or another payout for every round that you advance to. The pot is much smaller. It's only about $25 million compared to the men's $270 million based off their TV rights deals, but they still get the same percentage for every round they advance to as a men's team would. It's just that it's a much smaller pot, but there is money to be made on that side as well.
How big a deal is this money for these schools?
For some of them, it is massive. This is the only way they make money usually. Unless you're a big-time college football program, and I would say the University of Utah and BYU might be the only two that come close to fitting into that realm. Unless you have a big-time college football program that's going to make a lot of money, this is the only way you make money, really, as a college athletic department. Most of your teams in your athletic department don't make a lot of money during the year. In fact, some don't make any money at all. So the NCAA tournament, this is what they hook their wagons to when it comes to making money. This is how they're going to make the most money that they can every year.
That is Sam Farnsworth with KSL Sports. Speaking of money and the NCAA tournament, what is the cost of games on employers? After all, productivity usually takes a bit of a beating during the games.
According to HR specialists, the nation's productivity suffers to the tune of between $12 and $17 billion because of March Madness. That is, people either calling in sick and staying home and watching, or sitting at their desks and watching on their computers or on their phones or by some other means. So, yeah, it's a productive killer to the nation's business climate during March.
That is ABC's Jim Ryan. He told Utah's Morning News that many employers have tried to get more into the tournament rather than outright ban it.
Why not just call in sick because of that and then turn on the TV set? And in fact, a lot of employers, a lot of HR specialists, people who watch this kind of thing say that if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. And that is, set up a TV set in the break room so that people aren't sitting there at their desks watching. Invite them to wear their team swag to work. to cheer on their specific teams, but also to try to maintain some kind of schedule. That is, maybe offering a flexible work assignment so that, okay, if your team plays at 4 in the afternoon, try to get to work a day or an hour earlier, maybe 2 hours earlier, and then leave early so you can go watch the game at a sports bar. So, yeah, there are ways to walk around this. It's not easy, and still some managers have a tough time with this.
Now, if you want to catch the games, but your boss doesn't want you to actually watch the games, you can get updates from us tomorrow and Friday. For the first round of the tournament, we will carry updates every 15 minutes here on KSL News Radio with our own Jason Jones live in the KSL 24-hour News Center. KSL Bracket Updates brought to you by the Stern Team Omada beginning tomorrow at 9 in the morning. One Utah woman is sounding the alarm after being attacked by squirrels. Her message and frustrations with the lack of help that she's received coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Tito?
We have a new crash. It's on northbound Bangerter Highway at 90th South in West Jordan. It's off to the right shoulder and not causing any delays. Gear up for adventure at the Utah RV Super Show. Shop for top brands, talk with experts, and see the latest 2026 RVs. March 19th through 22nd at Mountain America Expo Center. UtahRVSupershow.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
I know it's Wednesday, but give me 60 seconds and I'll explain how spending $29 guarantees your air conditioner won't break down this summer, or we'll give you your money back. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and when you have Any Hour do the annual maintenance for your air conditioner, it comes with our no breakdown guarantee. 801-443-7400. Normally, we charge $129 to tune up your air conditioner, but not today. If you call today, Wednesday, March 18th, and mention you heard this ad, we'll give you $100 off and tune up your air conditioner for only $29. 801-443-7400. If your AC breaks down any time this summer after we've tuned it up, we'll dispatch a technician to your home to diagnose and troubleshoot your system for free. And we'll give you back the $29 you paid for the tune-up. Where else are you going to find an offer with this little risk? You literally get your money back if your air conditioner breaks down. Call Any Hour Services and schedule your $29 air conditioner tune-up. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today. 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Join KSL in the movie show this Friday 10 to 1 at My Hearing Centers. Get a free hearing evaluation and be among the first 30 to try advanced hearing aids risk-free for 30 days.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Amanda, I've got a cruise planned in a couple of months, and I was thinking about the other people who may have cruises planned coming up a few months from now, and why right now would be the best time for them to begin their weight loss journey on Soda Weight Loss.
If you started right now, you could lose 20, 30, 40 pounds before June.
That's right.
I lost 37 pounds in 3 months, 3.5 years ago. And the beauty about soda is it's not a quick fix. This is learning that is going to last you the rest of your life and help you be healthy.
Your clothes fit better, your energy comes back, you don't get winded going upstairs.
Yeah.
Things that maybe you don't even realize. When I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, it felt like a transformation.
You learn what works for your body so you don't get addicted to shots or drugs. You just work with a nutritionist who's going to teach you how to keep the weight off for a lifetime.
Right now, you should go check out sodaweightloss.com, see all the thousands of before and after pictures, or speak with a nutritionist by giving a call 866-800-SODA.
Soda Weight Loss. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Well, this next story might sound like something straight out of Ray Stevens' song, A Mississippi Squirrel Revival.
The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in the Bible. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah.
A Salt Lake City woman says the state has left her high and dry in her battle against a squirrel. Jennifer Barnes says it began when she found an abandoned cage with a squirrel in it and decided to release the animal. Instead of getting her touching Free Willy moment of returning the animal to nature, the squirrel turned and bit her.
So it was pretty traumatizing. I had to go to the urgent care and then the ER, and then they sent me for infusion treatments for rabies vaccines because it's not normal for squirrels to be attacking humans. Like, we're a natural predator to them. Well, this continued on in the ER, the urgent care, and I contacted the Department of Wildlife Resources, and they refused to come out, didn't do anything about it. And now it's had offspring, and it's here in the neighborhood, and it's stalking me.
Now Barnes says that squirrel has come back and refuses to let her be at peace. In fact, the squirrel's offspring have now joined in on the harassment as well. Barnes says the problem has gotten to a point where it's impacting her quality of life significantly.
When you can't go out your front or back door because somebody's going to run up at you, do you think that affects your quality of life? Yeah. You have to run from your front door to your car. It's terrible.
Barnes says she understands how outlandish a problem like this can seem, but she insists that it's no laughing matter.
And it's not funny. I know people think it's cute. It's not cute when your dog's afraid to go outside and you're afraid to go outside because something is stalking you.
Barnes says her battle against the squirrels has been particularly difficult because she's vegan and doesn't want to do any harm to the animals. She had asked the Department of Wildlife Resources for help, but Barnes says their response was simply that it wasn't their responsibility to tend to the squirrels. She says the DWR insisted that she call a rodent removal service if she really wants to solve the problem for good. Salt Lake City leaders asking residents to chime in on a new proposal for a rapidly growing granary district. City planners showing off early concept designs for the Fleet Block open space near 9th South and 300 West. The plans all aimed at bringing more greenery to the neighborhood. City Public Lands Planner Michaela Maponga tells KSL the area currently has the biggest shortage of green space in Salt Lake.
I think the Fleet Block has been a really exciting opportunity just because the Granite District is a huge green space desert. This is going to be the only green space available within a 10-minute walk from this neighborhood. So it's just so desperately needed as an opportunity for people to gather and have places to be connected to nature and to each other. I think one of the big ideas in this concept is the opportunity to create different opportunities for experiencing nature. So we have like meander gardens, we have big open lawns, we have rain gardens, and lots of native planting incorporated here.
Maponga says the availability of green space in the area when compared to the growth in that part of the city has been unbalanced for years now.
According to our 2019 needs assessment, one of the things that we found was actually this is our lowest level of service for green space in the entire city in this service area, while it's also experiencing the highest level of growth. So this was, even before the Fleet Block and all of the growth that will be coming with those developments, it was already a huge deficit and a huge need here. So I think right now we're just focused on trying to provide as much as we can in this space and just give as much opportunity as we can to satisfy a lot of that need.
She says people living nearby have already given some great feedback on the plans.
So far, we've heard really great feedback. We've heard that we had an initial stakeholder meeting last week in which people said that they felt that really heard from our first phase of feedback. The goal here was to really take the big ideas that we heard in the first phase and incorporate them into the concept now. And so far what we've heard has been really great.
The city is hoping to show their final project proposal to the public in June and then begin construction next spring. As you try to finish up your taxes, you may want to know about some staffing challenges at the IRS that could affect you. We'll have more coming up in the next hour of Midday.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Heat Watch. We're set to see record-breaking temperatures for this time of year across the state. And with that warmer weather, an increase in those pesky little bloodsuckers, the infamous mosquito.
There's some mosquitoes that have hibernated over the winter, and they wait for warm temperatures to come out. And so with these warm temperatures we're seeing here in March, we will likely see those mosquitoes out and about. We're already seeing them somewhat, and it'll continue.
The time is 2 o'clock on Wednesday, March 18th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, are the mosquitoes we are seeing now the same ones that carry diseases like the West Nile virus? We'll get some answers. Also this hour,
we did see GDP, so overall economic growth, unemployment. The Fed still thinks those will stay pretty steady for the rest of this year.
The Federal Reserve saying no to a rate cut today. Coming up at 2:30, we'll go in depth on the decision and what it means, plus how it could strain the relationship between the White House and the Fed. But first, our top stories, and we do have breaking news. Taylorsville police say officers are looking for the suspect who rammed a stolen car into a police car before fleeing. They say it happened near 41st South Redwood Road. After hitting the police car, police say the suspect ran away on foot. They are currently looking on 39th South, just west of I-15. Other top local stories KSL is following. It was 6 years ago that the ground throughout Salt Lake County started shaking as a 5.7 magnitude earthquake hit Magna.
It was a stark reminder that Utah is earthquake country.
Utah State University Assistant Professor of Geology Alba Rodriguez Padilla tells Midday with Maria Shilaos the Magna quake and the aftershocks have taught us a lot.
All of the little aftershocks that we felt helped us illuminate the geometry of the fault at depth, which for the Wasatch Fault, which was the fault that hosted the earthquake, was a bit of a mystery to scientists.
Padilla says this is a good time to reassess our homes for things that might fall during an earthquake. She says many people forget to secure their shelving units by anchoring them to the walls. Don Brinker-Hoff, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story from ABC News, President Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Homeland Security, Oklahoma Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin, appears to have run up against opposition from the GOP chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
The hearing featured Republican Committee Chairman Rand Paul pointing to what the nominee said about him last month.
You told the media that I was a freaking snake.
and that you completely understood why I had been assaulted.
Paul was beaten by a neighbor in 2017, and Mark Wayne Mullen didn't deny what he said.
I can understand why the neighbor did what he did.
Mullen didn't apologize, but he vowed to secure the homeland if confirmed.
Let me earn your respect.
Paul didn't appear to be persuaded, saying Mullen has anger issues and warning it could set a bad example for ICE and the Border Patrol. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Your money at this moment, the Dow ending the day down by 768 points, more than 1.5%, sitting at 46,224 at the close. S&P down by 91 points. The Nasdaq also down by 1.5%, down 327 points. Traffic and weather together, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Tito Nani.
We have a medical problem in traffic. It's on southbound I-15 at 114th South in Draper. Medics are on the right shoulder, but all lanes are open. Spring has sprung. Utah's best treasure hunting is here. Simple Treasures Boutique, March 17th through 21st at Western Sports Park. 250 of Utah's best gifts, home decor, and more. Visit simpletreasures.boutique. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
Next 4 days are going to feel more like June than March, with temperatures, the high temperatures near 80 degrees. Then on Sunday, temperatures dropping back down into the 70s. Slight chance of showers coming early next week. Right now, 77 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, do it now. Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos.
Hot air, so hot in her, so hot air. Oh,
it's getting hot out here. Well, hot at least for March standards. We've been warning you about it for the past week or so, and now it's here. Record-breaking heat over the next several days. With the heat we are seeing, plus the really mild temperatures that we've had this year, how bad are the mosquitoes right now? Many Utahns look forward to winter for one big thing. The bugs usually die. That largely hasn't been the case this year, and the blood-sucking mosquitoes are loving it.
So with this heat, we are going to see some more mosquitoes than we may typically see this time of year. There's some mosquitoes that have hibernated over the winter, and they wait for warm temperatures to come out. And so with these warm temperatures we're seeing here in March, we will likely see those mosquitoes out and about. We're already seeing them somewhat, and it'll continue.
Could things get worse as the warm weather goes on for the rest of spring, summer, and fall? Davis Mosquito Abatement District Manager Greg White tells KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson that, unfortunately, yes.
The light and dark cycle is very important for the mosquitoes, and they're maturing. So as the season progresses, as we get a little further on, and then some other mosquitoes will also start to emerge, and some of those will also be adults that come out, and they're going to be around in much greater numbers. And so when they start laying their eggs after they bite, then we'll start to see the next generation of mosquitoes. And so right now we won't see any immediate spike in mosquitoes that's going to lead to a great increase. However, if the temperatures stay warm, when we do see those additional mosquitoes start to emerge a little bit later, then we could have the mosquitoes growing more rapidly as the summer approaches. So earlier in the summer, we could see more mosquitoes than we typically do.
But he says that at least for right now, the mosquitoes that will be out and biting right now don't usually carry diseases like West Nile virus.
There's a species called Anopheles freeborni, and they're the species that is the first one that comes out in these warm temperatures that occur in the spring. And so they're going to be out and biting people. Now, these aren't mosquitoes that are going to be emerging from the water. These are going to be adult mosquitoes that were survived from over the winter time, that were adult mosquitoes last season, and they're coming out now.
Greg White is with the Davis Mosquito Abatement District. So looking ahead over the next few days, what can you expect? Sam Weber is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service.
Way above normal, I feel like, is accurate and kind of an understatement. This is unprecedented heat that we're dealing with this early in the season. And right, it's not extremely hot from what we're used to. You know, our average high temperatures when we get into the middle of summer are pushing into the mid 90s. But this, for this time of year, you're looking at today, we're about 22 degrees above average if we reach our forecast high temperature of 79 degrees. And that heat is going to continue to build into Friday and Saturday. Really, Friday, Saturday marking the hottest days of the week, pushing 25 degrees above average by both those days. Normal high temperatures for this time of year is 57 degrees in Salt Lake City. So if we're like I said, we're pushing into the low 80s by Friday and Saturday, which is going to push us about 25 degrees above normal.
He tells KSL News Radio's Adam Small, this kind of heat, both here in the north and with even hotter temperatures in the south, can have a pretty drastic impact on the landscape and the rest of the environment.
Right now, from a statewide snow water equivalent, which is just kind of a measure of the health of our snowpack, we're at a record low right now for this time of year by about 1.3 inches on average for the snow water equivalent. So record low. We've been riding at least since late January, early February, right around record low for the snowpack statewide. Looking a little bit closer into the Salt Lake City area, still the Jordan River Basin, kind of looking at the Six Creeks drainage down through the lower Provo and through the Jordan River. It is still record low snow water equivalent. So that's just one thing, right? Our snowpack is pretty horrendous, and especially in the low to mid elevations. Low to mid elevations virtually have no snowpack. It's only until you get up high where the snowpack starts to show its face. So, I mean, up high, things are okay, actually, relatively speaking. If we look at like places like Brighton and Snowbird, we're still seeing about 80 to 85% of normal for the snowpack up high. So that just speaks volume right there. There's virtually no snowpack in the low to mid elevation.
We'll stick with KSL over the next few days as we track the heat and its effects on the elderly, our snowpack, and so much more. Updates on air and online at kslnewsradio.com. Stay with us. We'll be back with more in just 60 seconds.
It was opening night at Hale Center Theater for The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Victor Hugo's classic tale. I was with my son Ian, and it was nothing short of spectacular. The staging, the costuming, the music, it's simply breathtaking. And of course, the actors and the voices. You have to see The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's on the main stage right now at Hale Center Theater. So many of the scenes are never to be forgotten. For example, when Frollo is just struggling with his passion for Esmeralda and his soul, the flames and the tension on the stage is unbelievable. And to see the Hunchback up in the tower with the bells, don't miss Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's underway right now at Hale Center Theater. And continuing, Peter Pan Goes Wrong, that's on the Jewel Box stage, and Hallmarked on the Beehive stage. Get your tickets now, hct.org. Don't miss the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
As we talk about the heat and our record low snowpack, forest management has become an important part of the conversation. Recent studies show that forests are essential to regulating snowmelt. Sarah Goking, USDA Forest Service Research and Development National Program Manager for the Forest Inventory and Analysis Program, she joins me to explain how the forest canopy impacts snowpack.
One of those is to actually catch snow as snow is falling from the sky. And every tree has a certain amount of snow that it can hold in its canopy. And at a certain point, it will offload, technical term, offload that snow onto the ground. And then that snow contributes to our total snowpack for the winter. Wherever there is not forest canopy, the snow falls directly to the ground. And then it can still be impacted by the forest canopy, though. Trees around any opening on the ground also serve as shade structures. You can think of them as big shade structures that block the sun and prevent the snow from melting too quickly.
So then when we think of forest management, what do we need to think about, or what do you think about when it comes to like tree thinning?
When I think about tree thinning, first I think, there are a lot of reasons to do it. And often tree thinning is done to reduce fire risk, reduce the amount of fuel on the landscape that could burn. And so that's an important reason to do thinning. Another thing I think about is about what I said about how trees can either intercept snow, they block the snow from hitting the ground, and some of that snow is offloaded, but some of it could just be sublimated. So in areas that are really windy, for example, the snow that is caught in the tree canopies actually can go straight from solid water, snow, to water vapor, and it never makes it to the snowpack, but some of it does. Then the last thing I think about is that having a canopy covering the snowpack, that serves to shade the snowpack and preserve it longer into the spring and even into the summer in places with a lot of snowpack.
Sarah, we are facing kind of a critical water shortage here in Utah, and with such a dry winter, of course, it's a huge concern for us right now. What are some things that we can learn from the research that's been done on the forest canopy and how maybe it could help us here in the state of Utah?
Yeah, that's a great question. One thing that I think about how, what we're facing here in Utah, we're already a fairly dry state. And some of the research that I've done has looked across the entire Western U.S. at places that are relatively wet and relatively dry, and in places that are farther north that get more snow and more rain, we often tend to see that following forest thinning, there is more snowpack and there is more water available. However, in places that are lower latitude, so farther south, especially on south-facing slopes, the function of the trees serving as shade structures becomes really important to preserve that snowpack longer into the growing season. For example, a review paper that I did included a study that looked at how the Twitchell Canyon fire in central Utah a few years ago affected snowpack there. And the results were that following the fire, more snow accumulated, but it also melted and in part evaporated much earlier. It was about 1 to 2 weeks earlier. So here in Utah, that's one thing that I think about is that we've found that as you move from wetter to more arid forests and watersheds, the function of the tree canopy to shade the snowpack and the soil becomes more important for preserving moisture. Because just getting more snowpack on the ground doesn't necessarily mean additional water supply. That snowpack, once it starts to melt, especially if it goes straight to water vapor, through evaporation or sublimation, that can actually mean that we don't see any additional water in our water supply. And in a few cases, we've found that it can actually mean less water available if we reduce forest cover.
So it sounds like it's pretty individual per area. When you talk about forest management, you're not going to be looking at the exact same things for each area.
That's very true. And so some of the things that I have found in my research that are really critical to look at, if you're trying to make a prediction of how changing the forest canopy is going to affect snowpack and runoff, the things that you need to look at are, well, how much solar radiation is coming into that site. That's affected by how far south you are, what aspect you're facing. So are you on a south-facing slope or a north-facing slope? And what's the overall climate of the place where you are? And specifically, the aspects of climate and weather that are important is how much precipitation is falling relative to what we call evaporative demand. And that, again, that's affected largely by temperature and by how much sunlight we're getting. So it is site specific, but we have learned some generalities that let us make some basic predictions about whether snowpack and water supply are likely to increase, decrease, or maybe not change following forest thinning.
So anything else that you'd like to add, maybe that I haven't asked you?
I would come back to, the many different reasons, the many objectives that managers might have if they decide to do forest thinning. Fire risk, especially when we have dry years, that's a real concern. And so that can be a really important reason to do forest thinning.
Sarah Goking is a Forest Service Research and Development National Program Manager with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. With just under a month left before your taxes are due, we'll get an update on how IRS staffing issues could lead to more delays. That's coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Tito?
An earlier medical problem in traffic is being cleared. It's on southbound I-15 at 114th South in Draper. Expect residual slowdowns between 90th South and 123rd South. With nutrients blended for greener, healthier turf in our local soil, IFA's 4+ Lawn Care program is the ultimate lawn owner power move. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
This heat's nice, but the real heat, it's coming. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and now is a great time to schedule a preseason AC tune-up. And I'm about to save you some money. Normally, we charge $129 to tune up your air conditioner. But if you call today, Wednesday, March 18th, and mention you heard this ad, we'll give you $100 off and tune up your air conditioner for only $29. Call Any Hour Services today and schedule 801-443-7400. Manufacturers recommend annual maintenance to save on utility bills, identify breakdowns before they happen, and to help your air conditioner last for as many years as possible. 801-443-7400. If it's more convenient, go to anyhourservices.com and look for the red button that says Book Online. Schedule your $29 tune-up there. That's a $129 value for only $29 if you get a hold of us today. Call Any Hour Services right now at 801-443-7400. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, it's never good news. Keep in mind, it's not just you.
I owed roughly $34,000.
$61,000.
When the IRS first contacted me, I was horrified.
When they start hounding you and harassing you and assaulting you.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
From what I got told was being done in a matter of 2 years, he had done in a matter of like 48 hours.
It's a great thing to have the IRS off your back.
We have reduced our tax liability by over $42,000.
Once I signed on with Jordan, I never talked to the IRS again.
It changed our lives.
You need someone to fight for you. Visit endtaxworry.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com.
You know how they always used to ask you in grade school, what do you want to be when you grow up? I bet I'm the only kid who ever stood proud and said, I want to be a rain gutter or siding installer. Jim Jr. here with RGS Exteriors, and man, I can still remember all those wannabe astronauts and quarterbacks looking at me like I was an idiot. Who would want to install rain gutters or siding? Somebody who is a fourth generation in business. That's who. My great-grandfather, T.R. Brown, started the company in the 50s. Then my grandfather took over from him, then my dad, Tim Sr., and now I've been at the helm since 2005. Every day I wake up and think, man, I'm living the dream. And now my own kids are starting to work in the business too. 5 generations. If you want gutters, siding, windows, or any exteriors on your home, and a company that really cares deep down to our souls, give RGS a call. 801-280-3110 or find us online, rgsutah.com. That's rgsutah.com. 801-280-3110, rgsutah.com.
You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. As the deadline to file income taxes quickly approaches, we're less than a month away now. Changes made by the Trump administration could dramatically impact last-minute filers. Michael Linden is Senior Policy Fellow at the Washington Center for Equitable Growth, and he tells me this is not a good year to procrastinate.
People should be planning ahead. The IRS has undergone some significant changes in the last year, including cutting its staff by almost 20% and eliminating a very popular and useful free direct file program that people could use, or many people used last year to file their taxes for free. So if you were somebody who used direct file in the past, know that that's not available this year. And if you have questions for the IRS with all the tax changes that happened this past year, prepare to wait, because unfortunately their staff has been reduced significantly this year.
Explain for us why the IRS is even important or necessary nowadays, as a lot of people do not like the IRS and feel like it shouldn't exist at all.
Well, that's a great question. The IRS is the agency at the federal level which is tasked with collecting the revenue from the tax code. And, everybody feels lots of different ways about the tax code, but at the end of the day, the taxes that everybody pays finance things like Social Security and Medicare and national defense and veterans health benefits and education and infrastructure, roads and bridges. These are all things that people, generally speaking, do like and want to support. It can be very frustrating when it takes a lot of effort to file your taxes, or if you have to pay a private company like TurboTax or H&R Block to do your taxes for you. That can be very frustrating. And it can be very frustrating when you feel like you're paying taxes, but other people, including, for example, very wealthy people, seem to not be paying their fair share. Those are things that can really make people frustrated. But the IRS's job is just to collect the revenue that is owed. They don't make the tax law. They're there to collect it. And if they didn't do their job, we would have even larger deficits and more debt to finance the things that people do really want. Like I said, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, health care for veterans. These are very popular, and they require taxes to pay for it.
You explained at the beginning why people should not wait till the last minute this year. And I think it is a big frustration because I think taxes just get more and more complicated. For many of us, we wouldn't even attempt to try our taxes anymore. So where do people turn now that this free service is not available?
Unfortunately, many people will have to go back to the paid preparers who will charge them a fee to do their taxes, even if their taxes are relatively simple. But you're right that because there are so many new changes, deductions, carve-outs, exemptions, special rates, a lot of people will want to know whether they qualify for any of those. And for that, they may need to go to a paid preparer, which is really unfortunate because you really shouldn't have to pay a private company to do something as basic as your civic duty and paying your taxes. That's what Direct File was all about. It was about being able to file your taxes free and directly to the IRS without having to go through a third party. But unfortunately, the Trump administration eliminated that program.
We're still a few weeks out before the deadline. Are taxpayers already facing problems if they're trying to get information from the IRS?
Yeah, we won't know for sure. Unfortunately, it's sort of ironically, the data does not come out very regularly, but I suspect that wait times on the phone are going to be long, that times to get an answer to an email will be very long or longer than normal. We do know that the IRS staffing is way down because of cuts made to the IRS recently. But I would expect there to be long waits. If you have questions, get them in early. Try to file as early as you can. And ideally, the IRS will be there to help you navigate this. They really, in previous years, they had been really investing in customer service and trying to be able to answer those questions as quickly as possible. It's very difficult to do that with 20% fewer people.
All right. Anything else we should think about?
One last thing to say is that some folks might have heard over the last year about tax policy changes that they might affect them, like they probably heard about no tax on tips or no tax on overtime or Social Security tax-free. But all three of those changes come with lots of strings and limitations. So if you do think you might qualify for those things, you should really look into it ahead of time so that you're not surprised. For example, no tax on Social Security is not really true. You will still pay tax on Social Security, but there is a new deduction for senior citizens. So these kinds of new complexities might benefit some people, but it might also be surprising to people who have only heard, kind of the soundbite.
Lyndon warns that if you make a mistake on your taxes this year, it could result in some long delays in getting your refund. It's 2:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching. Federal Reserve says it will not cut interest rates today. We'll talk about the impacts of this. The Trump administration releasing oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve, but gas prices keep going up. Why? And KSL traffic. Tito?
Residual slowdowns continue. It's on southbound I-15 between 90th South and 123rd South in Draper. Maria?
Expect highs in the 80s for the next few days. It's 2:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz, and gas and oil facilities in the Middle East are the target in the third week of the war against Iran. Iran hitting a major liquefied natural gas terminal in Qatar after Israel's strike damaged an Iranian oil facility. ABC's Ann Flaherty has more on the impacts.
We are told that this could impact about 1.2 million barrels of oil. It's not just impacting crude oil, it's also going to impact gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. We're speaking to experts who say this absolutely could hit consumers at the pump with those high prices, even if this is such a small fraction of the oil that's sold globally.
The Federal Reserve Board today announcing due to economic uncertainty due to the war, it's keeping interest rates unchanged for now. Markets sinking over the ongoing war and the latest economic data. President Trump's nominee to lead Homeland Security, Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin, testified today at his confirmation hearing. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story. A man accused of shooting someone before being shot by an off-duty police officer at a Taylorsville liquor store made his first court appearance today.
23-year-old Tyler Maka appeared before a judge today for the first time since he was arrested almost 3 weeks ago. He's accused of shooting another man in a road rage confrontation that ended at a state liquor store near 44th South and 27th West. Court documents obtained by KSL say Maka shot another man 3 times and kept shooting the gun until an off-duty Utah Highway Patrol trooper already at the store fired back at Maka, hitting him once. He was treated at the hospital and later charged with attempted murder. Charging documents also say Maka is a documented Taliban gang member and has family ties to the Middle East. Today, the judge told him he will continue to be held without bail until at minimum he is able to see the new judge assigned to his case. That's scheduled to happen on April 3rd. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Other local stories KSL is following. The former BYU wide receiver accused of rape was back before a judge today. Parker Kingston appeared virtually from his home wearing a suit and tie as both sides discussed evidence and witnesses that could come into play in a trial. Kingston, who is charged with first-degree felony rape, has not yet entered a plea. He was released from jail on a $100,000 bond with an ankle monitor. UDOT announced today the start of construction on the project to connect I-15 to the Mountain View Corridor. House Speaker Mike Schultz says this 2.8-mile freeway in Lehigh will be critical for cutting down on congestion for commuters.
I had the opportunity to try to get to Camp Williams during rush hour, and that was a deal breaker for me. And so that's when we said, hey, let's get together with UDOT, let's find out what the plans are. Let's move those plans forward, which UDOT and Mountain Land and everybody was so good to do.
UDOT says drivers can see as much as 12 minutes cut off their commute time, and lawmakers say this is necessary. It's a necessary addition to prepare for Utah's rapid development. Taking a look at your money at this moment, it was a down day for the markets. The Dow down by 768 points, sitting at 46,225 at the close. S&P down by 91 points. The Nasdaq down by 327 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Here's Tito Nani.
Seeing congestion due to an earlier medical incident. It's on southbound I-15 affecting traffic between 7200 South, and it does not look to clear up until after 123rd South. Whipple Service Champions is Utah's most trusted name for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services, and they're your first choice for offering honest second opinions. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
High today of 79 degrees, and we're looking at low 80s for the next few days. 77 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. We do have some breaking news. Police say one high school student was taken to the hospital after a fight broke out in the parking lot of West Jordan High. It's unclear how many students were involved in the fight or how it began. Police say they've arrested one person and another was taken to the hospital with what looked like a stab wound. Officers say when they got there, the fight was over, so they had to speak to students to find out what happened.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
It's time to upgrade your arsenal with the Shields Field and Range Sale Event. Save on your favorite brands in ammo, firearms, optics, and more. You'll have to hurry, though. This sale only runs through March 22nd. Plus, with your Shields Visa, you'll earn an extra 10 points for every $1 spent on Vortex products at Shields, which means you'll earn even more My Rewards gift cards. Visit Shields or shields.com and save now through March 22nd.
It's time for March Window Mania. From Advanced Window Products, bounce on over to your phone and they'll give you $2,500 off your quote on 10 windows or more. Get the Home Court Advantage. They'll build your windows right here in Salt Lake City, custom for Utah's climate, and you save because they sell direct to the public, no middleman. It's a new season. Spring is here, and when it comes to state-of-the-art custom windows and insulated frames, Advanced Windows is top-seeded, so put them at the top of your bracket and make the call 801-850-9100. You'll get $2,500 off from the family-owned champion since 1986. For 40 years, they've been building and installing replacement windows. Don't wait for the draft to come seeping through your old windows. They'll save you a ton of money on your energy bill, and Advanced offers financing as low as $150 a month. It's the March Window Mania special. Quick, before the buzzer, make the call 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100, or visit advancedwindows.com.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. The Federal Reserve Board has voted to keep interest rates where they are for now. Fed Chair Jerome Powell making the announcement today, saying the U.S. economy is doing well despite uncertainties with where inflation will go. Chair Powell also told reporters that the job market is slower, but not in an alarming range.
We look at that, we see it, we get it, and I mean everybody understands the arithmetic, and that's you can say the break even is zero. But nonetheless, it's something we're watching carefully, and are concerned about. But ultimately, though, you can argue that it's a consequence of deliberate policy, which is really the changes to immigration. That's the biggest factor there.
Let's get more in depth on today's decision and what it could mean for the relationship between the Fed and the White House with Bankrate senior financial analyst Stephen Cates. Stephen, thanks for being with me.
My pleasure.
So first of all, did today's announcement surprise you?
No. I'd be surprised to hear anybody being surprised by this announcement. I think this is probably one of the most telegraphed decisions that we're going to be getting from the Fed. Pretty universally expected that they were going to hold rates.
Yeah, it's pretty tough for a lot of us to understand with the gas prices still high and rising and the cost of goods sure to follow. But that's not enough for the Fed to cut rates.
Well, it's not. And actually, those rising prices are one of the reasons that they won't be cutting rates. The rising inflation is not something that the Fed wants to encourage with lower interest rates, which would translate to lower borrowing costs, easier money, and incentivize economic expansion and growth. There's certainly, a small minority part of the contingent on the committee and, in the economy that thinks that rates should be higher than they are. I don't think that that's likely to happen, but I think we're going to be a long way off from a cut.
Boy, is it possible we won't even see a cut this year?
It's certainly possible. I think Chair Powell talked about in the press conference that they need to see inflation start to ease and see progress in that way. And if they do, then we'll see cuts. And if they don't, then we probably won't.
Yeah, President Trump has been very critical of the Fed chair and the fact that they haven't cut interest rates. What do you think today's announcement is going to mean for the relationship between the administration and the Fed?
Well, I love that question because for Jerome Powell, it might not matter because this is his second to last meeting. He'll have one more in April, and then his term is technically over in May. Now, whether he stays on as chair, that's a little bit up in the air. Kevin Warsh, who is the nominee and assumed to be, if or when he is confirmed, would take over. That would probably put Jerome Powell in a position where he would leave the Fed, even though he could stay on as a governor. I don't think any chairperson has actually stayed on past their term. So for Jerome Powell, the ship has basically sailed. He'll have one more meeting next month, and then he can ride off into the sunset. But for the rest of the committee members, they all are relatively committed to trying to maintain, a stable interest rate policy for the duration until we see progress in inflation.
Who is the most impacted by the Fed deciding to leave these rates where they are?
Well, it's hard to say none of us are unimpacted, but I think that anybody who is trying to borrow money, so aspiring or even existing homeowners, anybody who's out for an auto loan or has a credit card and carrying a balance, you're seeing the direct impact of some of these decisions. Now, the Fed doesn't control all borrowing rates, mortgages actually least of all, but what they do and what they say does matter. And this cautious tone today isn't going to give the kind of confidence to the market that could push bond yields and therefore long-term borrowing rates down. We're going to need to see a resolution to the Iran conflict. We're going to need to see over the next few months whether there's any progress on inflation, and that will start to pull borrowing rates down. Until then, we're probably going to be at an elevated level.
Yeah, I guess I ask you that question because when you look at credit card interest rates, I mean, they have been quite high for some time, and they don't seem to be quite as impacted by the Fed's decisions.
Not quite. I mean, they are high, and if you look at a chart of how they've trended, they were rising throughout the 2010s. They fell briefly to, just under 16% on average during COVID. That's about as low as they've been in the last 10 or 15 years. And we're probably not going to get back to that. We're probably going to be in or around the 17 to 19 range, where the data that we have at Bankrate that we collect, we've got average interest rates for credit card balances at about 19.5%. A quarter point rate cut, even if we got one today, even if we get more of them in the future, is not actually going to translate to much relief for credit card borrowers who are carrying a balance. It's just not going to be terribly impactful. We've gone from over 20% down to now 19.5% over the last 2 years. Maybe we'll get another percent or two lower over the next few years, but that should not be the relief that credit card holders are actually waiting for.
Yeah, Stephen, always appreciate your insight. Thanks so much for being with me.
My pleasure. Have a good day.
You too. Stephen Cates is Bankrate Senior Financial Analyst. Gas prices are up all across the country, including here in Utah. The Trump administration says they are tapping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So why aren't the prices dropping? Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy joined me earlier, and I asked him what tapping into the reserve is actually supposed to do.
Well, the reserve has 412 million barrels of oil, of crude oil sitting in it. And I think the aim here is to reduce the impact of high oil prices by potentially putting more supply in the market. Obviously, the Strait of Hormuz is the catalyst here. The blockade is holding back 20 million barrels of oil on a daily basis. And releasing this oil from the United States SPR is designed to potentially mitigate or offset part of that. However, while the 172 million barrel release sounds significant as part of the broader 400 million barrel release announced by the International Energy Agency, the real point here is not the amount of oil, but the rate it can be released. And right now, the U.S. is planning to release it at a rate of 1 million barrels a day for potentially 120 days. That still pales in comparison to the 20 million barrels a day that are being blocked via Iran's threats in the Strait of Hormuz.
Do we know exactly where the oil is going? Does it go to other countries, for example?
Generally speaking, the government, the Department of Energy, will issue an RFP in which it will solicit bids for that oil. And it can be bought by anyone. The goal for the taxpayer is to sell it to the highest bidder. That has, in years past, in Trump's first term, that has gone to China. It's gone to countries like India. And it also went to China and other foreign countries back when Biden tapped it several years ago. So the goal is not necessarily to be selective on where it goes, but to fetch the highest price to eventually recoup and refill the SPR.
Does it mean that our gas prices will come down anytime soon?
Well, unfortunately, as I mentioned, the rate of release is rather low, and oil prices really haven't seemed to be impacted much by it. In fact, when the announcement was made, oil prices actually went up another 2.5% that day. So, again, it's probably more like a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. The global market is looking for some oil to offset the 20 million barrels that are stuck in the strait on a daily basis, but this is really breadcrumbs that the market needs much more for oil prices to decline in a meaningful way.
That is Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy. Midday continues in just a moment.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today!" Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words "switch today" in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James. in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Amanda, I've got a cruise planned in a couple of months, and I was thinking about the other people who may have cruises planned coming up a few months from now, and why right now would be the best time for them to begin their weight loss journey on Soda Weight Loss.
If you started right now, you could lose 20, 30, 40 pounds before June.
That's right.
I lost 37 pounds in 3 months, 3.5 years ago. And the beauty about soda is it's not a quick fix. This is learning that is going to last you the rest of your life and help you be healthy.
Your clothes fit better. Your energy comes back. You don't get winded going upstairs.
Yeah.
Things that maybe you don't even realize. When I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, it felt like a transformation.
You learn what works for your body so you don't get addicted to shots or drugs. You just work with a nutritionist who's going to teach you how to keep the weight off for a lifetime.
Right now, you should go check out sodaweightloss.com, see all the thousands of before and after pictures, or speak with a nutritionist by giving a call 866-800-SODA.
Soda Weight Loss. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
The latest report on credit card debt highlights a disturbing trend among Americans. More Americans are struggling with credit card debt than at any other time in history. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze breaks down the numbers.
This was a very sobering analysis. This came out from two groups, the Century Foundation and Protect Borrowers, and it looked at specifically credit card data when it comes to Americans who are behind on their credit card bills. So we know that credit card debt right now is at an all-time high. What we are seeing is that more people are falling behind on their payments every month, a record 111 million Americans. So that's about 40% of all U.S. adults cannot afford to pay off their credit card bills every month. So that means that they are carrying a balance month to month. That is a very big number. And then when you dig a little bit deeper, this analysis finds that more than 27 million people can only afford to make minimum payments every month right now. So that means they are really getting dinged with those interest charges. When you are only making minimum payments, you are ultimately paying a lot more on interest than on your actual debt on your credit card because those fees very quickly spiral. The other headline from this report is that we see a growing share of families who are maxing out their cards, and then they will open another account or turn to other potentially high-cost options like payday loans or buy now, pay later, basically to stay afloat. So in many ways to pay for day-to-day essentials, and if they are maxing out one, they're trying to go to another. So this absolutely speaks to the strain that a lot of households are feeling right now.
And Schulze tells Brad Milkey on the Start Here podcast, a key factor is interest rates.
Credit card interest rates right now are still very high, averaging around 20%. So if you are paying interest on your charges, that really does quickly add up. It also can be very hard just on a basic level to find what your interest rate is. I was trying to figure out what I was getting charged for one of my cards. I was trying to go through the website. It was not an obvious number. Actually ended up chatting with the customer service AI chatbot to figure out what the actual rate was. And it was 25%. I mean, that is a huge additional fee that is money you do not get back. You are paying that to the credit card company. Those rates do change as we see changes from the Federal Reserve, but generally we have still seen credit card rates stay pretty high in the 20-ish levels. Even as the Fed has cut interest rates, we've seen those credit card rates still say near historic highs. So that's one of the biggest issues, is that people are just getting stuck where they're in this cycle where they're just paying more and more in interest and kind of never getting out of debt. One thing to keep in mind is if you do have debt across multiple cards, is it is worth trying to pay some of that high interest debt first, just so that you don't get into that spiral. Sometimes that's too daunting for people. There are other strategies for credit card payoff, like you actually go with your smallest balance first and then you work your way up to the biggest one. That's a way you get kind of a bunch of little wins to keep you motivated to get out of your debt. But the bottom line here is really knowing what you're paying in interest. Worth a call to your credit card company to see if you can negotiate a lower rate and take those interest fees into account as much as possible so that you don't end up being stuck.
According to the data, more than 100 million Americans are stuck in that alarming cycle. After the break, we'll finish up midday with a little something sweet. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big. UCCU, love where you bank. Tito?
We're seeing patches of congestion on southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County. This is mainly between 90th and 123rd South in Draper. Also heavy congestion on the I-215 West Belt going southbound. This is between the I-80 junction and the I-215 junction. The Good Feet store, supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Tito Nani in the KSL Traffic Center.
I know it's Wednesday, but give me 60 seconds and I'll explain how spending $29 guarantees your air conditioner won't break down this summer, or we'll give you your money back. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and when you have Any Hour do the annual maintenance for your air conditioner, it comes with our no breakdown guarantee. 801-443-7400. Normally, we charge $129 to tune up your air conditioner, but not today. If you call today, Wednesday, March 18th, and mention you heard this ad, we'll give you $100 off and tune up your air conditioner for only $29. 801-443-7400. If your AC breaks down any time this summer after we've tuned it up, we'll dispatch a technician to your home to diagnose and troubleshoot your system for free. And we'll give you back the $29 you paid for the tune-up. Where else are you going to find an offer with this little risk? You literally get your money back if your air conditioner breaks down. Call Any Hour Services and schedule your $29 air conditioner tune-up. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
Are you looking for a fun way to get your kids outside and off their screens this spring? Try flower gardening. Starting a beautiful flower bed or easy container garden is a great hands-on way to spend quality time together while teaching kids about nature. They'll love digging in the dirt, picking out their favorite flowers, and watching them bloom, all while making real, lasting memories. Plus, gardening is a great way to slow down, soak up some sunshine, and enjoy the fresh air as a family. This is Brian with Olson's Greenhouse, and my family has been growing flowers with care for 4 generations right here in Utah. Whether you have a big sunny backyard or just a small shady front porch, our colorful, locally grown flowers make it easy to add beauty to your home. So this spring, start with a new family tradition, one that grows with your kids. Get inspiration at Olson's Greenhouse Gardens on Instagram or find a garden center near you at ogg.com. That's ogg.com for Olson's Greenhouse Gardens.
This is Jeff Stout with Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. Let's talk conventional versus FHA loans. Both offer cash-out refinances up to 80% loan-to-value or LTV, so which is best for you? It's kind of like Uber and Lyft. I always compare the two before booking a ride. Conventional loans don't have mortgage insurance under 80% LTV. However, the rates and costs get higher with lower credit scores, cash-out, and high LTVs. FHA loans always have mortgage insurance, but the rates are lower, they don't penalize you for cash out and high LTV loans, and they allow for higher debt-to-income ratios. FHA often results in lower payment even with mortgage insurance. We can analyze your situation within minutes. Call us today. Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple, 801-264-9494. That's 264-9494. Or on the web at finkmcgregor.com. NMLS 289115.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free. free and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. It's one of summer's hottest music events, Lollapalooza in Chicago. News Nation's Kevin Wells has the list of the headliners for the big party.
The 2026 Lollapalooza lineup is out, and headliners this summer are Charli XCX, Tate McRae, Lorde, The Smashing Pumpkins, John Summit, Olivia Dean, Jenny, and the XX. They will be joined by dozens of other artists who will take the stages in Grant Park from July 30th through August 2nd. You can sign up right now for the pre-sale. It will be Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. The public sale starts an hour later.
And the 4-day pass will be cheaper in the pre-sale than in the public sale. And finally on Midday, Girl Scout cookie season is officially underway. If you ordered your cookies ahead of time, you probably already got your orders. We did here at KSL News Radio from Little Emma. Now, if you didn't plan ahead, though, time to head out to the store. KSL 5 TV's Tyrese Boone is outside of a Smith's in Glendale.
This will be one of the sweetest spots in town as Girl Scouts begin selling their cookies. And it's an annual tradition to get the local Girl Scouts to raise money for things such as camps and other learning experiences for them as well. So these cookie booths open today as part of the Girl Scout Cookie Program, which runs through April the 12th. And organizers say each purchase helps give girls opportunities to learn valuable life and leadership skills.
Because it's fun. I like to sell cookies to get to troop camp or just like camp.
Help our girls reach their goals. It helps fund activities, helps fund travel for our girls, help funds for them to get to our camps, and really just get out and help the girls in accomplishing what they're set out to do.
And troop leaders say their experience also helps give girls build confidence while working towards their personal and troop goals. And to find the nearest Girl Scout Cookies booth, you could go to their website and go to the Cookie Finder, I believe, link as well. And if you would like to go buy one, there's plenty of boxes to go around, and I think I might get one as well sometime later on today.
KSL TV's Tyrese Boone there. I might have to get more.
You know,
I think
that's a thing.
We are consuming ours very quickly. Jeff, how about you?
You know what? My wife wants Thin Mints, so I got a half a dozen boxes, and she stretches them out. I'm not crazy about the Thin Mints.
How does she stretch them out? I can eat a package in a day if I'm not careful.
I don't know. There's a sleeve that's out for days, and it slowly gets a little bit smaller. I like the lemonade cookies. I bought a box of those. It was gone while I was sitting at my desk.
Before it even got home. All right. Jeff Kaplan is here. Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News is next. Have a great afternoon.
KSL FM Midvale.